Toronto Maple Leafs, 12-11-4 on the season. This is his fourth start in a row. He has points in 4 straight. At the other end of the ring, trying to get his game together on a tough day, is Jimmy Howard, who lost 6-4 in Nashville, 5 goals on 28 shots, and hasn't won a game since the 29th of November. He's been injured much of the time since then. The referees for the game, Dan O'Halloran and Brian Pochmera, Scott Driscoll and Mark Shuchik, honored to work the lines, and we'll be able to see the lines shortly, I'm sure, if the wind picks up, but we'll have lots of delays, I'm sure, for shoveling, although the game is going to start with the Detroit Red Wings sending out Danny Cleary along with Patrick Eaves, and Luke Glendening out of the University of Michigan gets to play center ice in the opening lineup in his big house, and this is his 5th Winter Classic, including the one that was played here in 2010 between Michigan and the Michigan State Spartans. Nick Kronwall and Brendan Smith on defense, Jay McClement along with David Clarkson and Nikolai Kulemin, starting with Cody Franson and Jake Gardner. Dion Phaneuf was on the ice for the drop of the puck, but he's gone off, and the Red Wings got to the attack first, and they're quickly back to center after the puck. That's Danny Cleary to Brendan Smith. Hard pass up the boards that was knocked down by Jay McClement. Smith makes a move and gets the puck back into the neutral zone, and McClement takes over again, and he'll go back onto the attack for Toronto, or try and get it started, as he's taken out by Luke Glendening. Red Wings don't spend any time in their own zone. So far, it looks like the puck's moving around pretty well, although slipping in the snow and falling was Brendan Smith.
Well, you know that the attitude of these players is fantastic. As you mentioned during warm-up, Jim, not one player has ever complained. There's been a real good acceptance of just the reality of what it's like playing outside. I think all these players have at some point played under a snowstorm. You could see the snow affecting the puck, but right now it hasn't dampened the enthusiasm at all.
Leafs send out their top line with Tyler Bozak, Phil Kessel, and James Van Riemsdyk, and so Mike Babcock counters with Pavel Datsyuk, Todd Bertuzzi, and Justin Abdelkader. From the blue line, Carl Gunnarsson. He and Phaneuf will play against Datsyuk as much as they can, and they may have Zetterberg to deal with on that line as well as the afternoon goes on. A turnover by a poke check. Van Riemsdyk trying to get to the net. Howard trying to find the puck as it drifts in on him, figuratively and literally, and he smothers the puck.
Well, you see, turnovers still costly here. The Detroit Red Wings don't get the puck in at their blue line, and that creates a chance for Van Riemsdyk, but plowing through the snow, not able to get through the D.
Whole new connotation to the snow shower today at the net. Glenn?
Yeah, some things don't change, though, and it's coach's strategy. We heard Carlisle talk about, Dion, you change right off the bat. Well, the first shift of the game, he's not out against Datsyuk. He changes right away, and it looks like Phaneuf will play against Datsyuk as much as they can.
Daniel Alfredsson in the lineup, missed the last game with an injury and was able to loosen up during the warm-up today, and is in the lineup playing the right wing against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he touched the puck and didn't hear any boos in here. Maybe they can't see him.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. It's the decision to play. Obviously, every player wants to come back. You see Jimmy Howard got 1 game in before coming back. Alfredsson missed that game in Nashville, but pretty happy to be back in the lineup here.
Nazem Kadri, Joffrey Lupul, and Mason Raymond out against this line of Gus Nyquist, Henrik Zetterberg, whose backhander hit the side of the net, and Daniel Alfredsson. And Kadri will try and break out. He's caught at the blue line by Gus Nyquist, who couldn't get a hold of the puck, and it's snapped in by Joffrey Lupul and played to the side of the net by Brendan Smith. Red Wings break out to center and no further. Turn the puck over. Mason Raymond will send it right back in. And right back out come the Wings. Brendan Smith to center. A little tip through by Joachim Andersen as both coaches try and get everybody into the game early, and their fourth lines come on now. Colton Orr out here with Peter Holland, Morgan Riley, and Paul Ranger on defense. Jerry D'Amigo, the left winger for Toronto. Joachim Andersen's line, the fourth out for the Detroit Red Wings. And they're forced back in their own zone. Colton Orr trying to get to the front of the net, can't do it. Here's Thomas Tatar dashing through center. He's got Drew Miller headed for the net. Snapped the shot that was deflected through, and Bernier had enough concentration to find the puck and stop the play.
Well, guys, here's the difference between your normal National Hockey League game, where guys rarely even look at the puck. They just get their legs moving. They know where the puck is. They have a good sense of it. Watch Kadri. He wants to get his feet going, but he's got to look down every half a second. He ends up not getting a complete puck and then back the other way. Offensive chance for Tatar. Look at head down the entire way.
And you'd be shocked to see the shovelers as a result. Quite an accumulation of snow on the ice. And right away, after the opening ceremonies, the referees, Dan O'Halloran, went to both coaches and said, you want it shoveled now? Both coaches, old school. Nope, game on, let's play. But in a short period of time, there is a huge collection of snow.
2 minutes and 22 seconds in the first shovel, and these guys have been busy all morning long keeping the snow off the ice. I remember in the old Memorial arenas across Canada, you used to get 10 cents to shovel the ice in the intermission if you were a minor hockey player. These guys would get very rich if they could do that
They've
today.
made a fortune today, for sure.
Here's Scott Oak.
All right, Huey, we're set for a long afternoon here at the Big House because of exactly what we're seeing now. There are 10 on the shovel crew. They can do the ice in 2 minutes, so clearly they'll do it when needed, but also during TV timeout. So it will make for a much longer game than usual. And between periods, the ice is scraped with machines that are called sport ice removal machines. They're made in California. They're about 1/3 the weight of a Zamboni. They don't flood, but they scrape, and they're ideal for outdoor rinks like this. So it's going to be a big challenge this afternoon, but it looks like the NHL is up to it.
Underneath all of this snow, though, the ice looks terrific.
It does, and what's interesting, though, as Scott was mentioning, the weight does make a difference. And Glenn, I don't know, you got so much action over on your side, but where we are on this side, the fact when the guys go skating by, it's like a herd of buffalo going by because it's not cement underneath us. There is a little bit of reverberation, and so obviously having less weight on those Zambonis makes a big difference.
Well, the weight from the Zamboni, when it gets really cold, the ice cracks. And so the NHL has kind of learned their lesson. Smaller Zamboni, less weight, and no issue with cracking ice. I'm showing my age here, but I recall a Silver Stick tournament where the home team, it was indoors, but the home team shoveled at the end of the first period and the visitors at the end of the second. So it was part of my fabric growing up too. Indoors, however.
There's Jimmy Howard really trying to keep his focus and concentration. That's been a real difficulty for him coming off an injury in a real tough game. And I would think for an afternoon like this, it'll be really tough for the goaltenders with all of these stoppages in play.
And I asked Glenn, we talked about this earlier, Glenn, you got Jimmy Howard back for just his second game. He's dealt with injury. He's going with the old pads. And would you not want the pads that you wear during the whole and regular season, or are goalies just so easy to adjust now in the new stuff?
It's easy to adjust, and I get the nostalgia of the game. But at the end of the day, after all the spectacle, it's about the wins. It's about building confidence in your game. I'd be going with my old faithful. I wouldn't be trying to make myself look pretty out here on the ice. But Bernier's done the same thing. He's gone with the old school pads as well, and he's got the old school wooden stick, or fake wooden stick.
Right. And the old school toque on top of his mask.
But, yesterday in the game, it was a cold alumni game, but the goalies were changing during the play on the fly. And hey, staying warm is something that's important. The guys get back to the bench where there's heat. The goalies don't get back to a warm bench where there's heat.
Here we go again. Red Wings' Luke Glendenning's line won the draw. And they'll battle for the puck here. Gardner and Phaneuf are together right now. In comes Kyle Quincy off the blue line to hold the puck in. Glendening is checked. Cleary gets the puck. He's got Patrick Eves with him as they try the cycle game along the boards, and I would think both teams would like some of that. Here's Danny DeKeyser trying to hold the puck in and can't do it against Nikolai Kulemin. David Clarkson watching as Quincy has the puck bounce on him, but he moved it ahead and Cleary's able to dump it in.
That was a big shift for Detroit, though, Jim. They caught Phaneuf in for about 35 seconds, and you know who will be coming out next. Datsuk to try to take advantage of it.
So Dion's catching his breath, and here comes Pavel Datsuk as here comes Morgan Riley up the ice to center, and he'll dump it in. And the Leafs complete their change, and Dion Phaneuf's coming right back on after a short rest. Justin Abdelkader to center. Phaneuf on his offside to his partner Carl Gunnarsson, and he'll dump the puck back in for Toronto. Brendan Smith is back. Abdelkader along the boards against Phil Kessel. And here's Pavel Datsuk with Todd Bertuzzi and Abdelkader. Bertuzzi, who hasn't scored a point in 9 games, in on the forecheck. Abdelkader threw a hit. And James Van Riemsdyk lifts the puck in the air for Kessel at center, but it's bouncing on him and he can't get control. Kessel will chase the puck here as Jacob Kindle comes over at him, and Datsuk takes over. He's 1-on-3 to center, tracked down by Tyler Bozak, who moves the puck back to Kessel. He'll shoot it in, a gravity drop. on goaltender Jimmy Howard, and like a good shortstop, he got in front of it.
Okay, guys, this is a game like no other being in this big house, but from a coaching perspective, it's like every other. You try to take advantage of the matchup. Datsyuk gets out quickly, and Glenn, as we've seen so many times, if anybody can handle the elements and do something magical, it's got to be him.
And here's what you can take advantage of. No right shots for the right point for the Detroit Red Wings. So that's a tough play for DeKeyser to keep it in as a left-hand shot. The Leafs can take advantage of that right D position. All of them shoot left.
Speedy Gus Nyquist broke in for Detroit, got the puck in deep. He's with Alfredsson and Zetterberg. This line with Nyquist on it has got some real speed and some real savvy in Alfredsson and Zetterberg. Nazem Kadri cut off at center, tried to feed the puck through to Raymond, and Kindle blocked it. Zetterberg fighting back in, but he's poke checked by Cody Franson, and Joffrey Lupul protects the puck to center and dumps it in. Leafs on the forecheck, and nobody's been able to stay in very long, especially the Leafs haven't had a shift where they've been able to stay on the attack and get any sort of cycle going. Paul Ranger with the Tiger stripes all over his face, I guess to shield the sun. Danny DeKeyser back to get the puck. Great skater. Moves against D'Amigo at center, dumps the puck in just by Drew Miller. First man back is Bernier to Ranger, and up the boards. DeKeyser will pinch, and he holds the puck in. Knocked out of the air, DeKeyser again, and there's that backhander Glenn talked about, but he got the puck to Tatar. Has Miller out front. There's a scramble at the side of the net. Nobody can get the puck on goal. They'll throw it back to the blue line. Brendan Smith has come on. His shot was tipped. Bernier makes the save, and he stops play as Drew Miller got his stick on the puck and made it a difficult save for Bernier.
Good battles out of the corner, though, getting to the front of the net. And as Glenn talked about, Smith did an excellent job as a lefty on the point, getting that puck and then getting it back to the net. But at this stage, just take everything to the net. Look for rebounds. You can see the battle ensuing in front. And this is a tough play as Tatar put it back to the point. Smith gets it out of his feet. And a tough one for Bernier to find in the massive bodies.
You know, the other thing guys have to be very careful of, now this is a rink they put together. The past two dump-ins have been wonky. Funny bounces off the glass, one in front of the net at the Detroit end, and one funny bounce behind the net for Bernier.
There's the breakout of the day. That's hard off the glass and out, but this one went for icing, so the Leafs have another face-off deep in their own zone.
It's unlike any other game, and when Morgan Riley's carrying the puck up the ice here, does this remind you of playing on the road with a tennis ball? As it's bounced, he might as well be the U of M basketball team. Good luck. You got to have some focus today.
Glendening won the draw. The Red Wings shot, though, didn't get through to the net. They've had 3. The Leafs have had 1 so far in the game. David Clarkson trying to whack the puck out of the air. Couldn't get it by Brian Lashoff, the Red Wing defenseman who kept the puck in. Dan Cleary is checked by Cody Franson. Franson, you see, is one of the few players here wearing at least a partial balaclava. Keep his chin warm. So is Nikolai Kulemin. And Jay McClement bounces the puck out through center. Lashoff is back to get it. Both teams are changing on the fly.
The busiest guy in warm-up was Brian Papineau trying to make all the helmets bigger.
Yeah.
You put the balaclava on, and all of a sudden it doesn't quite fit the same. The visor's in a different spot.
There's a few more of them that have appeared here. They've actually been pulled up over faces since the game began. Bozak to Van Riemsdyk with Kessel on the ice as well. Carl Gunnarsson and Dion Phaneuf back. Phaneuf, the masked man, goes after the puck with Abdelkader. Pavel Datsyuk is there. So far, every change in the game has produced the same matchup of lines. Chance for an odd man rush. Van Riemsdyk, Bozak with him, shoots, and he missed the net from a sharp angle. There's a penalty coming up here. It'll be against Detroit's Justin Abdelkader. It's a cross-checking call that gives the Leafs a power play, and a very different power play it'll be in the snow, and the shovels come out again. There's the penalty on Abdelkader against Dion for the power play when we come back on Hockey Night in Canada. First penalty of this Winter Classic to Detroit, so Toronto's 5th-ranked power play goes to work because of this.
And it's a pretty good cross-check. There it is. Phaneuf stayed down for a little bit. That's cross-checking. But this isn't. Franson on Abdelkader. And the last little timeout, everyone's out shoveling, snow coming down, and Bernier got his hand down his pants to keep it warm. Rather chilly here today.
And Glenn, he had a little hand warmer in that hand as well. So trying to keep fresh.
Thank goodness for those little
Yeah, we got
packets
them
of hand
too.
warmers.
That's
I'll
right.
tell you,
They help a lot, don't they?
they're spot on. So the Leaf power play goes to work against the 8th-ranked Detroit penalty kill here. And this is where, for a goaltender, if you get a string of power plays for your team, a guy like Bernier has to stand around for a while and try and keep warm. At least he hopes his power play makes that happen.
Well, you talk about trying to keep a power play simple. I would think this would be the definition of it here. Just get it back to the point, get bodies in front, and get some shots to the net.
It's the Leafs' centerless power play with Joffrey Lupul trying to take the draw. He's got Kessel and Van Riemsdyk with him, and Franzen and Phaneuf as the point man. Joachim Andersen on the penalty kill throws the puck out front. He and Drew Miller, the forwards, killing the penalty, along with Nick Kronwall and Danny DeKeyser. And they do a nice job of making the Leafs regroup in their own zone. There's Phil Kessel gathering speed as he goes wide on Kronwall, takes the shot, and Howard makes the save, and he's doubled over to make sure the puck doesn't get loose.
That was a good job of Kessel handling the elements there, keeping the puck ahead of him, and almost surprised Danny DeKeyser. I think he was shocked the fact that he was there so quickly, almost beat him to the outside. Good active stick, though, kept him there. And a nice smart play by Kessel, just getting it to the net, trying to get a rebound.
Understanding that there's fresh ice at least for a minute with the snow having been moved off it. Leafs got the draw. Phaneuf shot didn't get through to the net. Bozak trying to track it down.
Oh, that one caught him.
Bernier by surprise.
Well, look at the difference of the visual as we're down on the ice level here for the players. Not just the snow, but 100,000 people with very different outfits on.
Bozak on for the draw. Now Joffrey Lupul back on as Patrick Eaves was spilled by Phaneuf at the blue line. Here's a backhand shot by Kessel, and that was deflected into the corner. Cody Franzen from the right point snaps a shot. Didn't get through. Lupul can't get to the rebound. It came off a body in front, and the Red Wings are able to clear the puck with 45 seconds to go in this power play.
I can tell you that 200-foot shot, I didn't track it.
Yeah, hard to see where it was.
Really hard to see.
Morgan Riley on the second power play unit. Mason Raymond, Joffrey Lupul still out there as the Leafs get in on the attack but can't get set up. Riley and Gardner, the two young defensemen, are the point men on the power play.
Boy, if ever a first goal is important, this is the game. You don't want to be playing from behind in these elements, having to get a goal late.
Nazem Kadri lost the puck, but the Leafs are still able to get it in deep. David Clarkson up front with Kadri and Mason Raymond. Here's Nazem Kadri. Jake Gardner couldn't get a shot away. Saucers it to the other side. Kadri's shot was blocked, and Danny DeKeyser bounces the puck out through center. Penalty to Abdelkader is over. 5-on-5 again. Raymond tried to dump the puck in and lost control of it. And in a second effort, he got it inside the blue line. Here comes Kadri to the net with a shot. That's knocked down. Raymond couldn't get a hold of it to get a shot. And Henrik Zetterberg lifts the puck down the ice. Dion Phaneuf is back. First shift after a penalty kill. Nyquist, Zetterberg, and Alfredsson are on. Jacob Kindle in for Alfredsson. He just took a shot at the net. Saw he had nothing in front for a pass, and now he and Phaneuf push and shove as Bernier hangs on.
Both coaches are real detailed coaches, but on the last power play, the Leafs get the shovelers out, they get a fresh group on the ice, they get a face-off chance, and it's Lupul who takes the draw. They lose it, they spend no time in the zone. Randy Carlyle makes a change. It's Bozak that comes out for Lupul. They win the draw, and they actually generate some pressure. Surprised Bozak didn't start that power play. Instead of having Lupul take the draw,
They give him one chance.
kills 30 seconds.
Pavel Datsyuk out against Jay McClement, and McClement won the draw cleanly. Gunnarsson up the boards, and the puck is tipped all the way down the ice, but they'll have to do this again. It's an icing call against Toronto. They won't be able to change.
Well, you can see the urgency there off the draw. You won the draw, but it's no guarantee that you're going to be able to make a play. Lots of pressure by Abdelkader. I love the old-time look as Mike Babcock and his coaching staff with the fedoras and the scars looks very appropriate for the way that this is shaping up.
A second chance, and Datsyuk won't be beaten twice in a row. Kindle with his shot, tipped by Abdelkader, out of play. And so the face-off this time will come outside the blue line.
Glenn, you were talking about not tracking that one puck. Don't you find here in the early going, when the puck is up above the white of the boards, it's very difficult to find it at all. Even that little lob pass, I couldn't see it all.
It's just a sea of color. You've got Detroit on one side, all in red, all the fans. Toronto on the other side, all in blue. So it depends which way you're looking in the rink, what color combination you're getting. It is spectacular, though, to see this sea of humanity all dressed in hockey sweaters.
And it really appears that everybody is now here, despite what the highways were like. David Clarkson, a little tip off the boards and a good one. Jay McClement out to center. Kuhlman dumps the puck in for Toronto, and he'll give chase. Kindle is the first man back. Boxed into a corner, but he looks up and flips the puck to Datsyuk at center, but it was knocked out of the air by a high stick stopping play.
Well, we still got a lot of compete in this game, regardless of all the storylines and the snow and the weather. And it's two guys that you would expect. Alfredsson, captain for many years, the Ottawa Senators, and Phaneuf, captain of the Maple Leafs. And it was Bertuzzi and Phaneuf the last game. It was certainly epic, shift after shift. It was Bertuzzi and Clarkson with the water bottle gate.
Yeah, wasn't that a beauty?
Riveting, huh?
You've got more to worry about than a water bottle.
Yeah.
That was good television.
Brendan Smith got the puck in for Zetterberg to take over. It bounced on Cody France, and Gardner takes Zetterberg, and good teamwork there as Bernier looks after the puck. Time for the Shovels to come out again halfway through the first period at the Winter Classic. Andy Petrillo comes back with a bio on Phil Kessel as Hockey Night in Canada and the Winter Classic continues.
Welcome back. Today's Hockey Night Bio, presented by Subway Restaurants, is on Phil Kessel. These are familiar grounds for him. He attended high school in Ann Arbor from 2003 to 2005 when he was part of the USA National Team Development Program. And he's been to quite a few football games at the Big House. And he said this will be such a treat for a lot of Canadian fans who don't make it out to college football games. It's kind of a rite of passage for Americans, but how incredible for the Canadian fans. And he just said that, I guess in his words, this is going to be really cool. Jim?
Oh, it is that. You know, the population of Ann Arbor, Michigan is about 116,000. It has doubled this afternoon with over 100,000 in Michigan Stadium for the game. And they did a wonderful job to do as much as they can to sell Red Wings in one end of the stadium, Maple Leafs in the other.
Yeah, you saw the commercials that had the separation. Didn't think it would be possible, but you're right. They've done an excellent job. And great visual effect.
And no seats here. It's all bench seating for those in the main part of the stadium, and I don't think many people are actually seated.
It looks like everybody's standing, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
Now, you think Phil Kessel meant this is going to be real cool or it's going to be real cold?
Maybe a little both. Scoreless tie, and again, Jay McClement out for the faceoff here deep in his own zone. He's got Tyler Bozak there as the second center. Henrik Zetterberg to take the draw for the Wings.
A lot of discussion at responsibility who's going to get Alfredsson.
He's poised to shoot, and McClement looked after that by winning the draw. Cody Franson has the puck. It'll reverse behind the net. Jake Gardner looks up, finds Phil Kessel, but closing on him was Kyle Quincy. Gave him no room and got the puck away from him. Alfredsson shoots it in. Franson shoots it right back out. And there'll be a lot of this today, I'm sure, as De Keyser just shoots the puck in. Franson up the boards. Kessel back, try to tip. Quincy couldn't get the puck. Bozak was there in support. He left the puck behind at center. Jake Gardner with a long shot, and a nice save by Jimmy Howard, taking no chances. He smothered the puck. Scott Oak is in the stadium somewhere.
Would be in... Okay, Jim, the broadcast crew would be in trouble if we didn't have hot shots in our gloves, and if you're Jonathan Bernier, then you can put your hands here to stay warm during the time they take to clean the ice. So that's one way of doing it, and I wouldn't recommend it for anybody else but him, Jim.
The Ranger with a shot off the draw that was blocked. Been a lot of that early on, and the Red Wings clear the puck. It goes all the way down the ice. And this will be an icing call against Detroit, and so immediately Randy Carlyle makes a change.
Well, what's amazing, though, about the Heat is I played, or coached rather, in the 2003 outdoor game in Edmonton. That was quite a bit colder than this, but the benches are just filled with nice heat. At times you had to turn them down. It was affecting the water. The water was ending up to be so hot because all the blowing heat there. So big difference for the players who can have a quick shift, get back and get warm.
Big face-off for Kadri against Glendenning. And the Red Wings get the draw, and Jacob Kindle will be charged with trying to move it out. Lupul along the boards got hit hard and knocked down in a collision there with Alfredsson. He went right back at him and knocked him down. And as the puck comes up the other way, there's going to be a penalty on the play.
It's a question of
and
how
it's
much.
Eves, not Alfredsson, but it's a cross-check against Lupul, who got mad because of the initial hit.
This will be an interesting call if it's just 2, because it looked like the response was quick, but it looked like it got him right in the face. And you can see he's down. I'm sure there'll be a little discussion, a little check of any kind of injury and blood.
Well, you look at the swing here, guys. You got an offensive zone face-off. Right away, Kadri's line comes on. That's where Carlisle trusts Kadri to play. All he has to do is win the draw and generate some zone time. He loses the draw, and as a result, no time in the zone. And what ends up happening? Lupul takes a penalty. So what a swing.
And this is just clearly retaliation after he was knocked down there. It wasn't Eves who got him, but it was Eves who got it when he got up.
Eves was the bystander there as Kindle came in and he made the hit, but you look at the reaction, it was cross-check at the side. And just 2 minutes is the call. So
he's fortunate.
Yeah, he is.
You know, Lupul has some history with concussions, and so doesn't like the first hit. Thinks it's high. That retaliation costs him.
Well, Detroit's power play, 11th in the league, goes against the troubled Toronto penalty killing that ranks 27th right now. And Pavel Datsyuk, Henrik Zetterberg are on the ice at the same time for the first time. Kronwall back at the blue line as Zetterberg had a shot that was blocked, but it took a stick with him. McClements without a stick. Alfredsson on a short side shot was stopped. Todd Bertuzzi, the net presence. Alfredsson draws in Dion Phaneuf, passes across ice. Zetterberg finally gets a shot away. It's knocked down. Datsyuk with a backhander. That went into the corner, and Alfredsson chases it down. He's got Kronwall back at the blue line. Gives him the puck. Big crowd in front. Henrik Zetterberg turns and shoots, and the puck dribbled towards the net. Cleared away. Zetterberg again. Bernier makes the save. McClement has a stick now, and he's able to clear it. He got one from the bench, and now he gets the puck outside the blue line, and the Leafs scramble to change.
Smart play to get a stick, but also smart play to leave the stick where it is in the offensive zones, taking away a passing angle for the Detroit Red Wings.
Bernier decides not to stop play. Gave Dion Phaneuf the puck. He couldn't quite clear it around these boards. And now the play is stopped because the puck was knocked down by a high stick.
There's the toughest sequence for Bernier off of the power play. And again, the Wings just trying to get it. They can't go cross seam because of that deposited stick, so they go for the little pass shot that was deflected by Datsyuk, and then Bernier does a nice job of tracking it through a crowd and getting the puck to the corner away from the front of the net.
Well, 2 really good saves. One on Datsyuk, the most dangerous player for Detroit, and another one on Zetterberg, the second most dangerous player for Detroit.
And a high stick takes that faceoff all the way down the ice. It's a break for the Leafs.
It was interesting to see Kuhlman get a stick from the bench. He gets one from Paul Ranger. You can't get a worse player to get a stick from. It's the longest one on the team. It's like he had a fishing pole in his hands.
Maybe not such a bad thing on a penalty kill.
There we go, yeah. Good point.
Danny DeKeyser in the snow left the puck behind. In comes Dan Cleary. Gus Nyquist, number 14. Thomas Tatar is out on this second power play unit as well. Kindle and DeKeyser. And the Leafs are down to 30 seconds to go in the Lupul penalty. Tatar will track the puck in. Paul Ranger comes up against him. Cody Franson there in support. Van Riemsdyk and Raymond, the forwards, killing the penalty. And Van Riemsdyk gets the puck and just slaps it rolling down the ice. That'll just about do it. One last rush for the Red Wings as Lupul stands in the penalty box on the sidelines where Bo Schembechler used to walk. Datsyuk. Abdelkader. Cleary's in front, got his stick on the puck, and Bernier made a terrific save, and Cleary looked skyward, unhappy that he couldn't put the puck by Jonathan Bernier.
Yeah, he thought he had him 5-hole there. A good play out of the corner. It looked like there was a nothing play, but Datsyuk, as he does so well, quick backhander that gives him the opportunity.
Up in a cushy studio, I think. Here's Elliott.
Jim, while all of this is going on, the Toronto Maple Leafs and Carolina Hurricanes are finalizing a trade that will send John Michael Lyles, here he is earlier today, leaving the warm-up, to the Hurricanes, along with defense prospect Dennis Robertson, in exchange for defenseman Tim Gleason. That is expected to be completed later this afternoon.
Good scoop, Elliott. Little help coming on the blue line and a tough defenseman for Toronto. Meantime, here they are with Joffrey Lupul to Kuhlman, and he couldn't get the shot away before Brendan Smith closed on him. Back to the blue line at 5-on-5. Gunnarsson's shot went wide of the net. Lupul gets a hold of the puck. He's got Phaneuf back at the blue line, trying to cycle back and throws the puck onto the other side. Gunnarsson, Kuhlman, and that attempted pass went off a stick. Pavel Datsyuk dumps the puck in for Justin Abdelkader. Good hard hit by Carl Gunnarsson on Abdelkader, who bounced off and continues after the puck. Scrambling to get to the bench so there wasn't too many men on the ice was Pavel Datsyuk.
You can see on your camera all the snow on the boards. That hit at least knocked some of it off so you can have a little look. You can see players now really can't handle the puck very well. It's been a long time since the shovels have been out.
Yeah, they're due here any moment. Gardner up the boards. Kessel at center as the Leafs top line is on. And Van Riemsdyk goes over the blue line offside, and that will bring on the cleaning crew with 5:47 to go in the first period of the Bridgestone Winter Classic. This game awaits his first goal on Hockey Night in Canada. Take your game to the next level and join us on Hockey Night's Second Screen. Interact and win for cash prizes. Be a part of our broadcast. Join us at cbcsports.ca/second screen here at the Winter Classic. Little bouncy. The ice isn't perfect for Joffrey Lupul.
A good penalty kill by the Leafs. Lupul comes out of the box and thinks, okay, I got a chance here. A block shot, but watch this puck. Just impossible to corral. That delay allowed the Detroit Red Wings to come back and get in a defensive position.
Abdelkader has laid 2 big hits tonight. One that resulted in a penalty, so it's time for a little payback. Gunnarsson pays him a little visit. You know, when John Michael Liles, we heard in warm-up that he was traded. And I thought it was somewhat strange that he would even take warm-up. I mean, because you've consummated a deal. You don't want to have the risk of any player getting hurt if you know he's gone.
What do you think about Tim Gleason?
He's an upgrade for sure.
Yeah,
it's going to give you a little bit of an edge.
Type of player they don't have as a complimentary one.
And they've got the cap space to put him in. You knew that was going to happen. It's been probably a month in talking about the 2 teams making a trade for those 2 players.
Well, Gleason was going to go somewhere. That was pretty obvious.
And you wondered, a lot of talk again out of Boston with Seidenberg injured. Would it be Boston that would maybe jump at him?
Boston has a few more young defensemen that are actually NHL ready.
I think, Glenn, though, a good job by the Leafs allowing Liles to at least come out and experience the warm-up.
Oh, the kinder, softer Craig Simpson.
Well, former Spartan sitting in Michigan Stadium. I'm sure it was interesting for Liles, too.
There's the Leafs' Jerry D'Amigo with Peter Holland and Colton Orr. 4th line shift here against the Joachim Anderson line as well. And the Leaf 4th line gets in on the attack. Jerry D'Amigo tried to get the puck to Peter Holland. Brian Lashoff takes over, and Thomas Tatar moves the puck up the ice. Drew Miller couldn't get it. Good defensive play by Paul Ranger. And another puck knocked out of the air by a high stick that stops play as we near the last 5 minutes of the first period.
Well, all things considered, guys, don't you feel the caliber of play has been very good? I mean, you deal with not only snow in your face, but snow on the ice affecting the bouncing puck, but the guys have played hard and worked hard.
It's the enormity of the game. Yes, it's the biggest game the NHL has ever put on. But just look at the standings. Look at this as a 4-point game. And you don't want to be outside looking in the wild card spot.
And in every one of these games we've been at, despite how many times some of the players have been in them, the game has got better as it goes along. It takes a while for these players to adjust to the environment in the first period, and usually the pace of the game really picks up. And if it stops snowing, it really will.
Don't you think this is the best ice that we've had of the Winter Classic
Clearly.
so far?
No stoppages to deal with holes or chips. Jake Gardner. Here's the puck around the boards. De Keyser's back. Lupul is right after him, and he might get to the puck first. At least he gets the hit, and now he's got the puck. His centering pass, and it just missed Nazem Kadri. Back the other way come the Red Wings. Dan Cleary checked and knocked down as he hit the partition at the end of the Leaf bench, but he was checked by Jake Gardner. Cleary's had a rough ride lately. He lost 10 teeth to a puck in Florida the other night, and he was worried that this cold weather was going to hit the nerve endings in his mouth and make it a really hard day.
He had a late dentist appointment on New Year's night.
Bouncing puck, but the Leafs collapsed to the net, and Lupo got a hold of it and cleared it. Brendan Smith. Nicholas Kronwall to Abdelkader, who tips the puck in. Datsuk and Bertuzzi in with him after it. Datsuk read that play perfectly, but he couldn't get the centering pass. He was checked by Jay McClement. And now another penalty being called here. It's a holding call on Dion Phaneuf, and Abdelkader has been in the middle of everything. And now he might get a chance on the power play as the Red Wings get their second opportunity.
That's his role. He's going to be an agitator, get under your skin, and this is one that rolling puck once again, and you be the judge. Oh, he just got his arm wrapped around the shoulder. Abdelkader arms up, and the call was made right in front of the official.
Gardner tries to put Cleary right into the bench. It's a dangerous play. Cleary knows the boards are there, and he knows the glass, even though it's round, it's going to hurt. He's got to absorb the hit.
Second power play for the Red Wings, and they start a second unit. Cleary to take the draw. He's got Tatar and Nyquist with him. De Keyser and Kindle are the point men, as Datsuk and Zetterberg get a little rest to get ready. Bozak couldn't tip the puck out, kept in by De Keyser. Gus Nyquist. De Keyser wanted the puck, it goes the other way. Gunnarsson battles, and he tossed Cleary to the ice. Red Wings get a hold of the puck from the blue line. Jacob Kindle. Thomas Tatar, nice little pass back. There's a hard shot by Kindle, steered aside by Bernier. Nyquist trying to set up Cleary at the side of the net, and his second power play unit looks pretty good. Here's Thomas Tatar, Nyquist, Kindle, back to Nyquist, curls off the boards, backhand pass, bouncing puck. De Keyser couldn't get a shot as the bodies flail, and Bozak gets a hold of the puck and moves it out to center ice. Danny De Keyser shoots it right back in, so that second power play unit did its job, although it didn't score, and turns things over to the big boys as Zetterberg, Datsuk, and Bertuzzi come over the boards.
Now you got a chance, though, with Phaneuf in the box to go against Ranger and Gardner. Not exactly your top defensive pairing for Datsuk and Zetterberg.
Here they come. Todd Bertuzzi on the left wing, spun and knocked down, and Kuhlman clears the puck. And Bertuzzi shaking his head. He wasn't very happy about that. I think he thought he got tripped. Nicholas Kronwall, head up as he skates to center. The little drop back for Pavel Datsuk in traffic, but he made a play to Bertuzzi and got the puck back, only to be checked by Jake Gardner. Datsuk frantically trying to get it back. Bertuzzi's there as well. Waiting at the point is Kronwall, but the puck got away from him, bounced off his stick, and now he's got to go in after it and keeps it in. Ranger battles in the corner. That's Gardner who went down. It's Zetterberg who has the puck. Daniel Alfredson turns and fires, and a nice save by Bernier. Jerry D'Amigo gets the puck to center. Races after it. Makes a move on Alfredson. Can't take the puck to the net. Penalty's almost over. Phaneuf, released from captivity, is back in play. The Red Wings are 0 for 2 on the power play, and the teams are 5 on 5 again as the puck is dumped in by Kyle Quincy. Now to the last minute and a half of the first period of the Winter Classic at the Big House. In a big game between two teams that each have 45 points and are just 3 ahead of a New Jersey team that's coming on and wants the wild card spots that they have.
And a big breeze just picked up there, didn't it? A big effect to the guys. They talked about that yesterday.
Drew Miller trying to get the puck to Luke Glendening in front and can't. A turnover, big turnover, and Miller stopped by Bernier. As the Leafs turn it over, trying to come out of their own zone. They've done it again, can't get out. Brendan Smith holds it in. Abdelkader up front. And that did no harm to the Maple Leafs as Kessel was there, had collapsed to the net and has the puck. Now they'll just try and be tidy here for the dying seconds of this period. The shots on goal, 13-4 in favor of the Red Wings. The Leafs haven't spent a lot of time in the attacking zone, but they haven't given up a goal. Red Wings have had 2 power plays, the Leafs 1. Here's a turnover by the Red Wings, and back in comes James Van Riemsdyk as he falls. His backhander goes to the corner. Phaneuf pinches down and holds the puck in. On the other side, Gunnarsson trying to do the same, but the Red Wings got the puck by him out to center. Phaneuf ran into Thomas Tatar as he dumped the puck in. Quincy Realizes there's not much time left, but he moved the puck to Joachim Anderson. One last chance to get to the net, and Cody Franson closes that door as the first period at the Big House comes to an end. Leafs nothing, Red Wings nothing. Final shots in the period, 13-5 Detroit.
Well, late turnover almost gave the Detroit Red Wings a chance for the game's first goal. Off a skate right in front, and look at the reaction of Bernier. He was solid this period, the busier of the two goaltenders, and an excellent 13 save first for him.
And Gunnarsson's been involved physically. Him and Cleary have had quite a battle. This was the last penalty kill. It went from the corner, it went to the front of the net. It was Cleary cross-checking Gunnarsson, Gunnarsson cross-checking Cleary, tit for tat.
Ice is good, the optics are great, fans seem happy, and they now get a break as we bring Scott Oake and Dan Cleary.
Yes, Dan Cleary just got his skate guards on. Dan, you had the best scoring chance of the first period. Years from now, you'll be talking about the game you played at the Big House in the snow, but for now, it looks awfully tough to make a play out there. Is it as difficult as it looks?
Yeah, it is. It really is. I said before the game, I said this type of condition is perfect for my game. You know, just get it out of your hands, chip it in. But, you know, it's too bad I couldn't see like Pav and Kessel and these guys, you know, be able to make plays. There's a ton of snow on the ice.
First goal of any game is important. Is it doubly so in conditions like this?
Yeah, I think it's going to be obviously a low-scoring game. I had some good chances, so we got to keep up. And we talked about any shot's a good shot.
All right, thanks for your time, Dan. Appreciate it.
All right, good man. See you.
Dan Cleary of the Detroit Red Wings, Coach's Corner with Ron MacLean and Don Cherry coming up from the Big House in Ann Arbor, where Detroit and Toronto are scoreless after one in the Bridgestone Winter Classic. This is from up here. All right, to Jim Hewson, Glenn Healy, and Craig Simpson for the call of the second period.
Can you see if there's any better weather coming from up there?
No end in sight.
Well, the wind has picked up now.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, it's blowing a little bit.
My mic cut out, guys. But yeah, honestly, it does look like it's clearing up a bit up here. The snowfall not quite as heavy as it seemed to be in the first period, but that's as far as I want to go with any meteorological report.
But the wind has picked up a little bit, and that may be a factor. And if it continues to blow a little bit, these teams will switch sides in the middle of the third period at the 10-minute mark. I think they've dealt with it pretty good. Now, the Red Wings have played in one of these games before, but never in conditions like this. So I'm not sure that it's an advantage, but they were a better team that had more chances in the first period, didn't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, the shot total tells you that. This is something we've never done before, too, sitting rinkside with a nice coffee on a cold day. But no, I think that the attitude of the guys, and Glenn can speak to that being over there, they've all been embracing this. They've been enjoying this. But right now, it's that focus on trying to get that all-important first goal.
Jimmy Howard had a lot more standing around in the first period than Jonathan Bernier did. Bernier was outstanding. So is the ice crew here. They have those miniature Zambonis that come on the ice, and I think that saved them. They have the ability to pick up just snow, or they can put a flap in behind them and flood the ice as well. But they gave the shovelers a break in the intermission too. It picked up an awful lot of snow. They'll have to shovel again here because the snow continues to fall, although it's not quite as heavy as it was earlier.
Dion Phaneuf's got a little bit of a helmet malfunction here. Needs some tape to get his helmet fixed, as both referees are pretty patient with him.
With every delay, you can just see the snow piling up, though, so they're going to force Ranger to come out and start this game off.
And, you know, most games, you have an extra helmet on the bench. One with a visor, one without a visor. And it's a half a mile to the dressing room, so there's no chance of him having an extra helmet sitting on the bench. Tape will have to do.
Yeah, they'll just have to put it on his head and wrap some duct tape all around it from his chin over top. David Clarkson starts this period off for the Maple Leafs in a scoreless tie with a shot that's deflected wide of the net by Brian Lashoff. Jake Gardner to hold it in. Trying to cut for the front of the net is Clarkson to the blue line. Rangers shot, and that's tipped out of play. We had a perfect view of that. Rangers slap shot was about a foot away from us.
And into the crowd, something you don't see anymore in National Hockey League buildings, but there is no mesh behind. A good play of on his knees, getting it back to the point. You can see the deflection up and over. Too bad that didn't get through, as Bozak had good positioning in front if there was a rebound.
Dion Phaneuf's got his helmet fixed.
And timing's everything because the Datsuk line is out.
Equipment man knew that. Bozak to take the draw here against Pavel Datsuk. The Red Wings won 14-9 the faceoffs in that first period. Justin Abdelkader. The Red Wings are glad to have him back. He's a big body, good winger, can play with their top players. He was out with a concussion for quite some time. Kyle Quincy behind him with Danny DeKeyser. Stepping in is Van Riemsdyk. A centering pass did no harm. Gunnarsson throws the puck at the net, and it deflects into the corner. Van Riemsdyk battling a couple of wings, cycles back for Bozak. Kessel hovering around in front of the net. Van Riemsdyk to the blue line. Carl Gunnarsson looks at a crowd, nothing there, to snap the puck and got it deep off Todd Bertuzzi. But the top line of the Red Wings hemmed in their own zone, and now they'll get out. Datsuk trying to pull away from Van Riemsdyk. In on Dion Phaneuf, couldn't cut to the net. Abdelkader follows. Now the Red Wings won't spend any time in the attacking zone here. Phaneuf just onside. Here's a pass for Kadri coming off the bench. Couldn't handle it. Kessel stays late here. And now he'll start to change. Brendan Smith to Joachim Andersen and out to center. Here's Gus Nyquist driving wide on Dion Phaneuf. Spins, throws the puck to the front of the net. It did no harm. Brendan Smith along the boards trying to hold it in. And does. But the Leafs do a nice job of collapsing and getting a hold of the puck. Kadri is shoot in. Mason Raymond. Joffrey Lupul are there. Lupul trying to get open in front of the net. Raymond turns to protect the puck against Brendan Smith. Then he's just pitchforked into the boards by Daniel Alfredsson. Brendan Smith as Nyquist with him. Alfredsson coming in as well, but they're turned back at the blue line. Flash off, rink wide. Alfredsson in on the wing. Finally the Leafs fans have figured him out. They've booed him as he got the puck deep. Leafs can't get up. Tatar kept it in. Joachim Andersen cycles in for Thomas Tatar. He's got Drew Miller in front of the net. Leafs can't get the puck out. Andersen filling in on defense. Throws it at the net. And Bernier has to make another save as Kadri, the center in support, gets back for the puck and throws it out to center. But the Wings will come right back in. Tough long change here, and the Leafs are trying to get it done in the second period. Not only the long change, but it's upwind. There's the pass to Peter Holland, and he spun around to get control, and when he spun at the blue line, Joffrey Lupul was just offside.
You mentioned the fact that the fans finally realizing that Alfredsson is in and giving him a little boo, but the question's coming in. Would he play? Is his back been all right? He's been very aggressive. He's been involved and doesn't look any worse for wear in this one.
The elements may be different, but some things don't change. And it's Datsuk who loses the puck, goes over the right shoulder instead of the left, strips Gardner of the puck, and then does it another 2 times just for good measure. Nobody is better in the league at taking the puck away from players than number 13.
Here's Henrik Zetterberg for the Red Wings leading a rush. Jerry D'Amigo caught him and checked him at the blue line, and that forced the play offside. So the Leafs will make a change here because they don't want that matchup, but D'Amigo did a nice job against Zetterberg.
Well, and I think Randy Carlyle's done a good job in both periods, as has Mike Babcock, is getting everybody involved. I mean, there's so many distractions to begin with. You really want to allow everybody to stay involved in this game. Don't get too detached from it.
Head-to-head, top 2 lines right now. Tyler Bozak's up against Pavel Datsuk. Van Riemsdyk, Bozak, and Datsuk will go after the puck, and Datsuk does it again. He just lifts the stick, then got the puck. Bertuzzi to Abdelkader, and a long shot in that dipped on Bernier, and as he tried to steer it into the corner, the puck went over the glass. He retired his jersey, but he could never let go of the game. Watch Mr. Hockey, the Gordie Howe story, tonight at 8 on CBC TV. This was just a wonderful scene yesterday from the alumni game where everybody made sure to come over and salute Ted Lindsay and Gordie Howe.
Yeah, you really see the reverence and respect for both of them. Incredible moment.
Well, one of them gave up his career to start the Players Association so that each of these guys could earn a pretty handsome living. And the other guy, built the franchise that is the Detroit Red Wings.
You saw Bernier getting another water bottle there. It keeps freezing on him, so they have to try to change it.
Joachim Andersen got the draw, and from the blue line, Lashoff fires a shot. There's a rebound right there, and Tatar couldn't get on it before Nikolai Kulemin moved it out. David Clarkson off the wing. His shot off of Jimmy Howard went up high and out of play.
There's no such thing as a bad shot in this game, in this environment, and especially through the bodies. And you could see off of a draw, a nice job of winning it back. The Red Wings get right to the front of the net. Miller trying to box through Gardner. He did an excellent job, and Bernier able to get a piece of it. And there's the water bottle, Glenn. It's frozen.
Yep, nothing's coming out of this thing. Okay, here we go. Now, one thing I have noted about Bernier today, a few more rebounds than normal. And that, one of the elements of wearing those new pads for a game like today, the old school pads, has been a couple times where normally he just gobbles up pucks, but not so much today.
Maybe a little more difficult to see the puck coming
So
into.
cut him some slack given the environment, right?
Yeah, there's a whole host of things that can lead to it for sure.
Jake Gardner with a shot through traffic that went wide of the net for Toronto. Leafs have had a little more time in the attacking zone here to start the second period, but still no goals in the game as Jake Gardner gets back in his own zone for the puck. Cody Franson looks up ice. He has Raymond ahead of him, decides to shoot it in. Raymond, Lupul, and Kadri go in after it. Dan Cleary had his pocket pick. Joffrey Lupul turns, fires on the forehand. Raymond shot it just wide of the net, or Kadri as he rolled over in front of the net. Just wide. And a terrific chance created by Joffrey Lupul. Thomas Tatar in for Dan Cleary.
Lupul had his arms in the air. He thought it was in for sure.
Red Wings back to the attack. Here's Pavel Datsyuk's wrap-around attempt. Bernier is down. Puck's loose at the side of the net as the Red Wings try a sneak attack here, getting Datsyuk on the ice in the attacking zone against a matchup that the Leafs don't necessarily want. DeKeyser with his shot. That's deflected wide. Datsyuk has come on here with Cleary and Tatar in the midst of a change, and now Abdelkader and Bertuzzi are about to join it. Tip in by Tyler Bozak. Ian Kessel and Van Riemsdyk come on for Toronto. Todd Bertuzzi picks up speed through center, chips the puck and chases against Gunnarsson. Abdelkader in there against Dion Phaneuf, looking for someone in front. Bertuzzi's gone to the front of the net. Leafs get the puck and out they come. Phil Kessel with some speed. Gunnarsson's with him. He shoots. Howard makes the save and stops play. That's one of the best rushes of the day for Phil Kessel.
Two of the best saves of the day for Jimmy Howard, too. He was sharp. He had to stay with this puck, and a nice job, a little spinorama by Joffrey Lupul. Created a chance for Kadri as he was going to the net. I don't think he can believe that he wasn't able to get it past the outstretched pad. Watch the right pad at the last second, just able to extend enough to get it on the toe. And for Kadri, had he a little bit more patience, had a little bit more time, but as you could see, he was falling down and forced to make the shot. And good desperation save by Howard, just extending long enough to get a piece of it.
It's been all Detroit. 18-7 are the shots. It's the best scoring chance of the game for both teams.
Dion Phaneuf off the draw with a shot that skittered into the corner. Trying to hold the puck in is Carl Gunnarsson as he bumps Drew Miller, and the puck goes the distance. Nikolai Kulemin is the first man back. He's cut off as Cleary took a run at him and just missed. Jacob Kindle from center hammers the puck right back into the Toronto zone. It'll come all the way around, and as it's touched just out of the blue line again, it's an offside call.
A bit of a bad break from an ice standpoint, too. It's right at the 14-minute mark, which there would have been a commercial and you could do a little shoveling instead. They're going to have to play on.
Cleary's been all over it tonight, been very physical. There's a nice big hit on McClement, just misses him. He tags him there. That's a dangerous spot to hit a player. That would hurt. Been a couple times too, guys, where the puck normally would be an icing, but because of the snow, it doesn't get down the ice.
Jake Gardner out of his own zone for Toronto. Passes off McClement on the backhander, and Gardner was there, just couldn't quite tip the puck. Leafs will try and hold it in. Against the fourth line, Ranger pinches in and shoots. Howard made the save, couldn't find the rebound for a second, and then spotted it at the side of the net. That just about snuck through his pads, but he made the save and hung on. Paul Ranger with the pinch, and from our net cam, a shot of Jimmy Howard's save. Jonathan Bernier keeping his hands warm again. Many believe the Leafs have decided on a number one goaltender now. This is his 4th consecutive start, and he looks sharp today, Glenn.
Well, this is not a recording. The Leafs are getting outshot again, and the shots are 2-1 in favor of Detroit. Some great saves, controlled most of the rebounds, looked efficient in the net, and with 18 saves today, he has been the best player on both teams. Although we have to say that Howard has made probably the biggest save of the game.
James Reimer on the bench watching here. That's a tough place to be on a day like this, to try and keep warm, although the benches are heated. And they'll soon have a new defenseman in front of them. If you didn't hear it in the first period, the Leafs have acquired Tim Gleason from Carolina. There's Jimmy Howard, and another look at his work. He's been a little busier, and he's had to make the best save of the game here in the second period.
Well, that knee that was bothering him, and he missed a good chunk of action, looked pretty solid there as he was able to move across. As you said, Kadri, I think, thought he had gone far enough to get around him, but somehow that toe able to get a piece.
As we took a TV timeout, there was an acknowledgement of the U.S. military personnel. And those in attendance today were saluted at the Big House in a big way.
When you think about the goalie controversy, so to speak, it was a Saturday night Detroit game. Reimer at the start gave up 3 in the first. HBO and Hockey Night in Canada caught the exchange between him and Carlisle, and it's been Bernier ever since. So it's amazing how a couple games in a couple days changed the fate of 2 athletes.
Well, he's allowed them to get points in 4 straight games, and that'll keep you in. Cody Franson trying to stand up. Nyquist, who gets to the net, gets the shot. Bernier makes the save. Couldn't control the rebound, but Franson was there to get it. He lifted the puck to center. Brendan Smith, like he was receiving a kickoff here in the Big House, got down to block it and wouldn't let the Leafs get into the attacking zone. Here's Gus Nyquist. He's got Daniel Alfredsson with him. Zetterberg's over on the other side. But the Leafs, Jake Gardiner gets the puck and has to reverse it for Cody Franson. Straight up the middle, a tip in by Joffrey Lupul. Howard out to meet the puck. Mason Raymond trying to forecheck. Nick Kronwall off the boards and out through center. Backpedaling is Dion Phaneuf. Kronwall's back for the puck. Justin Abdelkader, top line for the Red Wings, is back on the ice here. Leafs are in the midst of a change. Getting McClement's line on the ice against them. Sometimes they've gone head-to-head with Bozak. Sometimes they've gone with a checking line of Kuhlman, Clarkson, and McClement. That's the way they're going right now. Brendan Smith up the boards. Abdelkader will forecheck here. Bertuzzi battling with Dion Phaneuf up the boards. Clarkson took the man. Kyle Quincy as the puck drifted down the ice there again. Not quite enough for icing because of the snow. Pace has been better here in the second period as the players are a little more comfortable with the environment they're playing in. They have no worries about the ice. And that time there was enough on the puck for an icing call against the Red Wings.
Well, the top 2 lines for the Red Wings trying to go back-to-back. It was the Zetterberg line, and Nyquist does a nice job of winning the battle to the outside on Franson and gets in, and look at the bodies to the front of the net.
Well, we are in a football stadium, so here's the onside kick right here. One thing's for sure, Alfredsson has been very aggressive. He's gone to the net pretty hard. We showed the Bernier saves. Yeah, he's made quite a few, and a lot of them with a lot of traffic in front of him, so give him full marks for that.
But a lot of the traffic has been his own teammates. They've been collapsing to the net in a big way. Phil Kessel turns and takes a shot that's deflected away from the net. There's a crowd in front of Jimmy Howard too. After the puck is Drew Miller, but getting there first, Paul Ranger. Under pressure, got the puck to Van Riemsdyk. Into the middle, here's Tyler Bozak. Too many Red Wings around him, and Datsuk on the back check poked the puck loose as he so often does. Drew Miller dumps the puck in. Ranger to Van Riemsdyk. All he wanted to do was tip the puck in. It didn't get there. Joachim Anderson dumps it back in the other way. Drew Miller, Thomas Tatar there. Bozak line still on the ice. And Tyler Bozak came back and got the puck. Van Riemsdyk out to center. He wanted Kessel to race onto that, and he did, but he's poke checked to the blue line by Nick Kronwall, who closed the gap on him in a hurry. Thomas Tatar turns up ice. It's 2-on-3, and he's going to try and go the distance. Got to the net, poked away by Jonathan Bernier. Good rush by Tatar. Pass back towards the front of the net. Tatar out of the corner. Anderson's high in the slot. Back to the blue line. There's Brendan Smith. Flips the puck in. Joachim Anderson. Tatar slips in as they cycle the puck. Good shift here for the Red Wings, and a dangerous one against a tired Toronto line on a long change. They've got a few new players on there, but not enough of them. Jake Gardner is hard around, and still the Red Wings won't let the Leafs out. Alfredson along the boards. Had the puck taken away. Still Toronto has to reverse, and Morgan Rielly finally up the middle. Gets out, and Phil Kessel, last one of his line, to finally get off the ice, and he can barely get over the boards. Jerry D'Amigo on the forecheck. Joffrey Lupul is there, so is Peter Holland on a different looking line. Back the other way. Nyquist holds up. Bouncing puck. Bernier's way out of the net trying to find the puck. Cleary couldn't put it in the open goal, and he knew he had one. Cleary's in behind the net. Nyquist is out front. Red Wings back-to-back good shifts here, putting the pressure on the Maple Leafs and forcing them to ice the puck. And parts of their fourth line, at least 2/3 of it on the ice for an icing call.
Another example, Glenn talked about the football stadium. Well, this is another example of a tough time of seeing the puck, and Bernier thinks he has it, loses it, and nice job down low of getting in there was Gunnarsson to stop what might have been a wide open net.
This is a big face-off for Peter Holland. He and Jerry D'Amigo trapped on the ice in an icing call, and on came Pavel Datsyuk with Dan Cleary and Luke Glendening as second center, who can also play the wing.
I can tell you that Carlisle thought about taking the timeout.
Yeah. Might need it later though, huh? Too?
Yeah. But, the call from the bench asking the guys, are they all right? And the nod came from Lupul.
And there's Jonathan Bernier smothering the puck at the side of the net, knowing that there's a TV timeout and that his team wants a change, and now they'll get one. Halfway through the second period, still no score in the Bridgestone Winter Classic from the Big House. A bouncing puck, and Dan Cleary almost banked one in, but just missed. Red Wings are trying to pick up the pace here in the second period. Daniel Alfredson, Gus Nyquist with some decent rushes.
Both teams battling the elements. Bernier's got to battle the opponents because it's Alfredson who goes hard to the net. You recognize if you're going to score, it's not going to be a pretty one. Even though you're skating 29 kilometers an hour, it's going to be right from the blue paint. Run the goalie over, do what you got to do, and shovel the puck. We've seen enough shoveling tonight, this afternoon. Shovel the puck into the back of the net.
That was some of the best dangling of the day from Thomas Tatar.
Last year's playoff MVP in the AHL. He's got some sweet hands. He's proven he can score at the minor league level. Now he's got to prove he can score at this level.
Joachim Anderson to take the face-off here against Jay McClement. And the snow continues to fall. Fresh ice for a couple of minutes. Kick back and a shot by Kindle. Knocked wide of the net. Leafs have spent a lot of time in the last few shifts in their own zone as we pass the halfway mark of the second period. Jacob Kindle with a shot to the net. There's a huge rebound there, knocked away by Jay McClement right in front of Bernier. Here's McClement trying to get away now. Kindle is back. Kuhlman to the net, and the play is called just offside.
Well, every face-off critical as always, but here in the elements, good battles as center iceman Anderson against McClement. Watch McClement try to get it with his skate. He was a little late, and a long shot hits Dion Phaneuf and gets away. The Red Wings now just trying to press, get those second and third chances. Shots 19-10. And the first time we've seen a little delay with maybe a chip on the ice by the...
It's a big chunk of ice, yeah.
Those were commonplace earlier on in some of the colder rinks that we've had this game in.
It's time for the Smirnoff Icebreaker. Why not mix a Smirnoff Caesar? Smirnoff Vodka, the official vodka sponsor of the NHL.
Huge crowd on hand. You know, you think about a 100,000 seat stadium and you picture it as being cavernously huge, but I'm overcome by the fact that it seems real cozy in a place where there's 105,000 people watching a hockey game.
Well, you mentioned it before, too. It's all benches. There's not one seat in the lower bowl. It's all tightly packed together. And one thing for a college crowd, they had to get, you saw the Smirnoff Ice there, you had to get a license to Michigan games. There's no alcohol served, but in a cold day like this, I'm sure there's plenty of it going on.
Well, one thing I've noticed, guys, you look at this as a yeah, good pictures. You look at this as a bowl. You would think if it's windy at all, there's no chance the wind would get down to ice level, but it is quite windy down here today. It was windy yesterday. They actually had a football game against Ohio State, and it was so windy, they had some parachutists that were to be dropped in the field. They had to let them out of the plane 3 miles from the stadium so that the wind would take them in to Michigan Stadium here.
It's a bit of a gamble if you're off by a mile.
Sorry, we missed the mark.
That one right in the lap.
You're on I-94.
I wasn't wearing my protector today.
And puck came over the glass. We're broadcasting the game right from the glass at the blue line, the attacking blue line of the Toronto Maple Leafs today. You can get the souvenir.
Yeah, I got to get it down there. There it is. I got a souvenir for us.
Where'd the puck hit you, Craig?
Pretty close. I needed a cup.
Good thing you got it because I turned my head. I was getting it right in the side of the head. Tyler Bozak to face off against Pavel Datsyuk. Datsyuk won it. Bertuzzi to Abdelkader, but pinching is Cody Franson, and he forced him back into his own zone. Kessel goes in after the puck. Net was rocked, but it didn't come off. Abdelkader gets a hold of the puck, and the Red Wings still can't get out. Good back check by James Van Riemsdyk. Now they'll move up on the play. Danny DeKeyser got the puck in, thrown back in front. Abdelkader's parked in front of the net. Datsyuk trying to get it there. Abdelkader trying to get away from Jake Gardner. Finally backhanded by Tyler Bozak. Up into the air to center. And he'll dump the puck in. Van Riemsdyk goes after DeKeyser. Here comes Gunnarsson pinching down the left side to hold the puck in. Centering pass by Van Riemsdyk. Didn't get out of the corner. DeKeyser goes down. Back to the blue line, and Carl Gunnarsson lost control, and all he could do was dump it back in for Van Riemsdyk. To the blue line, and Phaneuf with a shot. Nice save there by Jimmy Howard. Trying to chip it back in front was Phil Kessel late in his shift. Nazem Kadri, fresh centers come on. He turns and fires. That's deflected to the corner. Kessel still in the action. Cycles back. Van Riemsdyk centering pass picked off by Quincy, and he just about lost it. Needed help from Bertuzzi to get it down the ice. After the puck is Abdelkader. After him is Jake Gardner. Joffrey Lupul up the boards, got a favorable bounce, and here comes Mason Raymond. Chips by Kronwall. Smith was there, and Raymond stays on him. Joffrey Lupul comes in and hits Smith. To the blue line, Gardner held the puck in. Brendan Smith. Up the boards, tipped out to center. 2-on-1 chance. Zetterberg with Alfredsson. Zetterberg passes in front. Alfredsson scores! Finally, the first goal of the game in the late stages of the second period, and the Red Wings have the lead in the Big House 1-0.
And the first real break of the game goes the way of the Detroit Red Wings. It's a bouncing puck that we've seen. A bad pinch by Franson, but the puck bounced over both players' stick. The Detroit player couldn't make the play, and what a pass across. Tape to tape. Zetterberg with his head up the entire way just finds a way through the leg and skate, and that actually hits Joffrey Lupul. That doesn't even hit Alfredsson. So that's going to be a Zetterberg goal. So two big breaks there. One on the pinch and the bouncing puck. The other one on the stick of Joffrey Lupul.
Might have gone off his foot, don't you think?
You know, we listened to Mike Babcock when he talked in his speech before the game, and the one thing he brought up was we got to have a good F3, which is making sure when you have a pinch like Franson, your forward is back to protect. And obviously the Leafs didn't get to hear that speech because they didn't have a good F3 there.
Well, will the first goal be the biggest goal of the game? Will it be the only goal of the game on an afternoon like this? Red Wings have the lead 1-0. Dan Cleary back onto the attack. Drew Miller delays, then takes a shot into a big crowd, and Bernier's down. Has he got the puck though? And the crowd forms in front of him as usual, as Drew Miller did a nice job of delaying to get a pretty good chance.
Well, Glenn has mentioned numerous times how many bodies that the goaltenders have had to look through. Here's another great example of it. You get the early break and you get the 1-0 lead, and this is just driving to the net, making life difficult. A little hesitation by Miller, and two bodies in front as Glendening's there battling with Ranger. And that was a heck of a play by Bernier to get there. Let's have another look at the goal here. Zetterberg with his head up. Look at the margin of error, almost just finds a way through. And Lupul on the back check. Alfredsson's been credited with the goal.
Oh, what a great play by Zetterberg. He doesn't look past at all.
There's a penalty coming up right off the faceoff, and it'll be against the Red Wings. A high stick on the faceoff. It's a Toronto penalty. Zetterberg got a stick in the face, and the penalty is actually going to go to Jay McClement off the faceoff. So it's the Red Wings with a 1-0 lead that are going to the power play.
And with the best penalty killer, you could see the errant stick after losing another draw. It's been tough for McClement. He got beat on the other side twice. That one there he lost and tried to lift the stick of Zetterberg and went right into the nose. And nobody kills more than number 11 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now he sits for 2.
Well, Smith has a bit of a complaint here, and he's got a valid one. He got high stick just before the goal was scored. And he's cut. There's no question he's cut. Right there, there's the high stick. He goes to the bench bleeding. He missed a shift or two as they tried to stop the bleeding, because you can't play with obviously blood coming out of the cut from the high stick. And as a result, the goal scored, and now it's McClement in the box and Detroit on the power play.
Little adversity. I'm not sure if this helps the power play. I don't think it helps the power play that there's a bit of a snow buildup right now. It's probably better for the penalty killers.
Well, don't you think Randy Carlyle might have gone a little nuts had they decided to shovel right there before a power play?
Nick Kronwall to center. So a goal and a penalty and a power play for the Red Wings and a chance to really take over this game. The Alfredsson's out on the power play with Datsuk, and they play a little catch. Zetterberg does a regroup. Kronwall and Bertuzzi on the ice as well. A 4-forward power play as Datsuk gets into the attacking zone. Zetterberg comes in to help. And a high stick knocked the puck out of the air, so that stops play. You've shown us your prized possessions. How much will our buyers pay? Find out in the all-new series 4 Rooms, premiering Sunday night at 8 on CBC TV. Alfredsson from Zetterberg and Smith right now is the official scoring play at 13-14 of the second period. The only goal so far in this Bridgestone Winter Classic. Red Wings high stick the puck, so the faceoff comes down into their zone. Danny DeKeyser will start the second power play unit out. What a great pass ahead for Dan Cleary. Breaks in, cuts in, stopped the rebound. Bernier kept that out. Wonderful saves by Bernier, and he's really had Dan Cleary's number. Tatar with his shot, Bernier with the save. And there's Cleary battling for the puck again. So Mike Babcock didn't waste a lot of time in getting that second power play unit on, but he must have realized something there. He wanted Cleary back in action.
Oh, nice job of Cleary getting behind the defense, and a read by DeKeyser. Quick pass through, and you just cannot allow the player to get behind. That's another Franson and Ranger mistake there. They got caught looking at the puck, didn't notice him behind them.
Well, Franson, ill-advised pinch, got caught. That's the first goal. And there he gets caught with a man behind him. I don't think Carlisle's going to like it too much.
The two of them are talking next to you on the bench of what the heck just happened there.
There's that number 1 power play unit. A quick rest and they're back on. Nick Kronwall has the puck. Got Daniel Alfredsson right beside him. Bertuzzi on the other side, but he drops the puck back to Pavel Datsuk. Zetterberg to Datsuk, stopped by Bernier. Oh, he's made some wonderful saves. None better than that one, as the two top Red Wings came close to making it a 2-0 game.
Now that one looked like it was going in the back of the net. Little give and go that these two have been able to do so often, and that's an excellent save by Bernier. even despite the snow, they're finding a way to sift through the defense. Backhand pass right out of midair, and great reaction by Bernier, an even better job holding on.
Red Wings win the ensuing face-off. Datsuk takes a return pass, can't get away from Nikolai Kulemin. Still a little ways to go in this Jay McClement penalty as their Leafs top penalty killer continues to sit. Through center, trying to break up the middle was Kulemin, but another bouncing puck got away from him, and Henrik Zetterberg is back. This will be the last rush on this Red Wing power play as he gets to center. Moves in on Carl Gunnarsson. He's got help coming off the bench. Cleary heads for the front of the goal again. The puck's overskated. Datsuk's backhander went into the corner. Zetterberg tipped in front for Cleary, and in behind the net he'll have to go after it. Played the puck to Brendan Smith and back down low. Cleary battles, Glendening looking on. Now the puck comes to Mason Raymond, who had a chance earlier to get it out. Now Glendening gives him a rough ride in the corner and tries to keep him in again.
Go, Jack! Go, Jack! Come on! Go!
5-on-5 again as the McClement penalty expired in all of this. Jerry D'Amigo tried to move the puck out. He'll need some help from McClement to the blue line. No further. Brendan Smith held the line for just a moment. Now he has to retreat to get the puck. Kyle Quincy to center. Glendening couldn't control the puck. Jerry D'Amigo couldn't either. It's really bouncing now. Ranger put the puck off the glass. Brendan Smith checked by D'Amigo. Bozak couldn't get the puck. Back to get it is Luke Glendening. Races into the attacking zone, driving wide through the puck at the net. Bernier rejected that. Top line for the Leafs is on the ice. Here comes Phil Kessel on his off wing, trying to make the puck settle down. Now all he can do is get it deep. Bozak is there. In comes Van Riemsdyk with a big hit behind the net. He went after Joachim Andersen from the blue line. Here's Jake Gardiner with a shot. Howard swimming. He's down trying to find the puck, and it came loose. Jake Gardiner's got it. Riley ran interference. There's a penalty coming up here. It's against the Red Wings. Morgan Riley fanned on the shot off the heel of his stick. Took it side of the net. Van Riemsdyk couldn't put it in by Jimmy Howard. And the penalty's finally called, and it's Jakob Kindl of the Red Wings that'll get the penalty as the Leafs came ever so close. And James Van Riemsdyk, standing right up in front of us here at the glass, cannot believe that he didn't tie this game with a wonderful chance. Howard had the puck get loose. Phil Kessel after it. Van Riemsdyk right there as well. And the puck stayed out. Leafs on the power play when we come back. Van Riemsdyk with a close call, but he'll get another chance to get a goal here because the Red Wings have taken a penalty for Jakob Kindl for closing his hand on the puck.
All of this, though, was generated here. This is where the momentum was started. James Van Riemsdyk, a big hit, and the next thing you know, Detroit gets running around. If this is in an indoor building, this is good as goal. But because of the ice, it's a bouncing puck. But that hit, the chance, the momentum, the scrum in front of the net, and now it's Toronto's chance with fresh ice.
Oh, there's the hand of Jakob Kindl reaching in, and he just played it away from the net, or tried to. He's called for closing his hand on the puck.
And you mentioned what a break for the power play here. Timing everything is the Shovels give the Leafs the best they could with a nice clear sheet of ice.
Dion Phaneuf out on this power play just skated by us, and he's got a big fat lip and doesn't look very happy. Didn't get the penalty call that he wanted, but he's on a power play now, and the ice is as fresh as it's going to get.
The Shovelers, too, it gives Van Riemsdyk and Kessel a chance to stay out. Yeah.
Another big save on that Van Riemsdyk chance, though, by Howard, getting the
got a piece of
across. Got a piece of it.
Bozak, Kessel, Van Riemsdyk, Dion Phaneuf and Cody Franson out on the power play. And a good face-off win by Luke Glendening, just recalled from Grand Rapids with Thomas Yurko sent down. And because he won the face-off, the puck is sent down the ice.
Classic example of just going after the body and stick of his opponent, eh? Just took care of Bozak, didn't even worry about the puck.
In come the Maple Leafs with a man advantage. Van Riemsdyk and Kessel along the boards, but Danny Cleary has been very prominent in this game. Gets the puck out through center and down the ice. He and Glendening, the first group of penalty killers, and now Glendening changes. Andersen comes on. The drop back again for Kessel. Lupul into the attacking zone, another bouncing puck, and it's swatted away from him by Danny DeKeyser. Dion Phaneuf again, watched by Drew Miller. Van Riemsdyk took the pass, moves the puck in. DeKeyser's got it. There was Dion Phaneuf trying to take a decent run at him. And the play is stopped here, and the power play continues with 56 seconds left in it, and so far the Leafs haven't been able to get set up at all.
No, there's so many great visuals in this game, though, as we're watching a helicopter coming by overhead and so many distractions for the players. But we mentioned the ornery Dion Phaneuf there. It's in the middle of play. Rarely do you have that happen in the middle of a hockey game.
Leafs win the draw. Here's Morgan Rielly to the middle of the ice looking for the screen. Mason Raymond's shot stopped by Howard. Rebound still loose in front of the net, and the net is off. A mad scramble in front of Jimmy Howard. The net knocked off as Clarkson, Kadri, and Raymond went after that loose puck in front.
A lot of shrugging shoulders. If you look at Clarkson there, he's holding a stick that has no bottom to it, and he's complaining that there should be a penalty. Look at the bodies in front. He's got good positioning in front. Howard battles for the loose puck. Kadri going after, and there's the one hit in front. Lashoff and Kadri knocked the net off, but it's Clarkson left with a broken stick, and he wanted a penalty.
You know, the penalty that was called against Kindle, you guys be the judge. Now, it's the back referee that makes the call. He's quite a ways away in a snowstorm for making the call. Did Kindle put his hand on this puck? Hardly at all.
Sure looked like it from the first visual that you had, though, didn't it? For the official there, it looked like it was. So you can understand how he makes that call.
You see by the late stages of the second period, the emotion enters the game despite the environment. Glendening and Kadri just went at each other on the face-off, and now Cleary and Raymond, and they just tie each other up. Clarkson comes in to get the puck to the blue line, and Rielly on the other side to Gardner. Back to Morgan Rielly. No shot into Clarkson and back. Now that's taken away by Dan Cleary, and he sends that power play back into its own zone with just 30 seconds to go in the Kindle penalty. Morgan Rielly will get his legs moving and come out to center. Mason Raymond right beside him. They tried to shoot the puck in, and it ended up on the Leaf bench. And so there's only 19 seconds left in that Kindle minor penalty.
Well, there's one where you might think maybe a little bit of overpassing. The penalty killers were able to just take away the middle of the ice. Rielly trying to get a play down to Clarkson, and you get control, you do a nice job of getting it to the point, but you get no shot on net.
Bozak to take the draw, and he wins the draw cleanly to Dion Phaneuf into the middle of the ice, takes the screen shot, tipped out of the air. Van Riemsdyk is robbed by Jimmy Howard again.
Boy, give Howard credit. He has battled hard to find the puck.
Puck went onto the Leaf bench. That's what stopped the play, and it created quite a lot of chaos there too.
And guys, there's a great example. You win the draw back, one pass across, you got traffic in front, good mobility across, and it's Van Riemsdyk again. He had the other side of the net where he wasn't able to get it by. This one's a tough one to get upstairs. And Glenn, another good effort by the goaltender.
Great save.
Another big face-off win cleanly for Bozak. Here's Phaneuf to Kessel. He shoots. Howard the save. Rebound. Van Riemsdyk again. Scores!
He knocked it out of midair. I think it's below.
It'll be reviewed in all likelihood, but James Van Riemsdyk turned back time and time again. Finally gets one to go, and it's a 1-1 tie at the Winter Classic.
What a great read by Dion Phaneuf. You saw the play before. He went across laterally, took the shot. This time, same looking play. This time, though, back. Kessel with the shot. Watch the quick hands. Up in the air and bats it out of midair as Howard didn't even react. Had no idea where that puck was. The only one who did was number 21.
Quickly reviewed, and the stick is plenty low enough. And Van Riemsdyk has tied the game 1-1.
Now, you knew it was coming. It's 3 shifts in a row where it's all about James Van Riemsdyk. He's all over it. Couple good chances where he just missed. Some physical play, and then he finishes the deal to tie it up late in the second.
Good response by the Maple Leafs after they gave up the goal, then took a penalty. They got a power play, and here's Alfredsson. Back the other way. Datsuk's shot that went off the leg and wide of the net. Bernier gets a hold of the puck at the side of the goal in the late stages of period number 2. Just a dozen seconds to go. Finally, Jimmy Howard, who's been terrific when tested, gives one up.
Well, and for Howard, you can see his quick reaction. He's down and doesn't expect, in the body of his defenseman, the Kaiser gets in the way, so he had no idea that the puck was knocked out of midair. What a hand-eye coordination play by Van Riemsdyk.
15th for him. Kessel and Phaneuf get the assist. The third one would go to Bozak for winning 2 consecutive faceoffs cleanly. In the late stages of that power play. And it is no power play goal. The penalty had just expired. Here's a chance for Alfredsson as the buzzer sounds, and he didn't get the buzzer beater. And just as you might have predicted, after the players get used to the environment that they're playing in, the action picked up, the pace of the game picked up considerably as the second period wore on. And it's a 1-1 tie between two teams tied in the standings. The Winter Classic continues with Joffrey Lupul and Andy Petrillo on Hockey Night in Canada in a moment. Winter Classic 2014, and it is a happy new year for the over 100,000 fans that have been able to get in and see what's turned into a heck of a hockey game between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Detroit Red Wings. 1-1 to the third period. Daniel Alfredsson and James Van Riemsdyk have the goals, and predictably the players adjust to their environment and the game picked up, and I think we're going to see a heck of a third period, Craig.
Absolutely. The battle has been very impressive, and the fact that we've got a tight game here in the third. You know that the elements are going to change with the changing of the sides later on, but right now I think both these teams understand tied in the standings for that wild card, and this is a very important 2 points on the line for this last period.
Just down the boards on the other side of the penalty box from us, Scott Oak with Colin Campbell.
Thanks, Jim. Yes, with the NHL's Vice President of Operations, it's a decision in any outdoor game as to whether you'll switch ends in the third period to make it even. What's the one you've made here?
There we are, but we're going to start the way we ended, so both our goalie, they don't have that much farther to skate, so we are switching ends. It is concern. There was concern with the coaches yesterday, so we're going to switch ends.
Only the pictures coming from the big house for TV are spectacular, but it's not an easy job for you guys to keep this game going. How big a challenge do you view it as?
You know, Scott, in every one of these games, the players have never complained once, and they've never complained today, so if the players can handle it, everybody else can.
Fair enough. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, Scott. Take care.
Jim.
So it's like a continuation of the second period to start the third here, and then at the 10-minute mark, it will go back to the way it would be normally in the third period. So there's no long change in the last 10 minutes, and that makes some sense.
Makes pure sense. And Glenn, that's a great way of handling something that is obviously very different.
Yeah, no matter where the puck is, the buzzer will go at the 10-minute mark. You're not going to wait to the closest whistle to 10, and they'll get back to playing in the normal third period fashion. And both goaltenders have been spectacular today.
They really have been.
They've stolen the show, and there's been great chances, lots of traffic around the front of the net, particularly from Detroit's standpoint. But both goaltenders with their ugly brown pads that I used to wear when I started have really met the challenge.
And the stadium and the people who set this up have been first stars all around. Of all of the Winter Classics, this one has looked the best. It is a spectacular event to be at. And a third period upcoming that we hope is spectacular as well.
Like so many of them, a very close game, as they all have been.
Red Wings, Jakob Kindl with the puck. 5-on-5 to start the period. Drew Miller driving in on the right side. He's got Dan Cleary with him. The puck got to the net and bounced on Bernier. Boy, that's been a familiar refrain too. The puck bounces all over the place, and there have been so many players coming back to the front of the net that it's not just the ice that's causing the bounces.
No, credit to both goaltenders. As Glenn said, they really have stole the show. They've been able to track it through all the snow in their face, through the traffic, through the distractions, and that was another example of Bernier not only making the save, but grabbing the rebound and getting a face-off.
Snowflakes are a little bigger right now again, but the wind has died off a little bit. Leafs get possession in their own zone. Dion Phaneuf up the boards. A little tip by Lupul outside the line, but no further. Luke Glendening back in on the right wing. And Drew Miller and Cleary go after the puck. And cleared by the Leafs onto the Red Wing bench.
Well, the Detroit Red Wings, this looks a lot like the Red Wings of the 90s. The dynasty team that won the Cups. They've always been a puck possession team. Hey, Colin Campbell talked about the players. They never complain. This just shows you the skill level of these guys and the elements that they have faced, that they are able to close the deal, make plays, tape to tape, snow on the ice. It just doesn't matter.
And it's a little easier for them to do that now that they're almost healthy again. Abdelkader back in the lineup. Zetterberg back from the last time we saw them on Hockey Night in Canada when they were a bit short-staffed. Still have only 3 wins in their last 10 games and would like to be a better team, but maybe with health, that'll look after itself. Todd Bertuzzi, Abdelkader, and Datsuk moving the puck in. Good patience by Carl Gunnarsson. And the Leafs get back to center. Van Riemsdyk dumped the puck in. It's over the glass and out of play.
One guy who's got himself an assist in this game, and he's been dangerous at times. You think about his game, Phil Kessel with speed in the neutral zone, handling the puck and trying to get off the rush. It's been a little bit more challenging in this type of a weather and atmosphere, but he's had 3 or 4 point-blank shots that have come close.
Zetterberg, Nyquist, and Alfredsson on against Kadri's line. With Lupul and Mason Raymond, who's speeding after Brendan Smith right now. Smith up the boards. Nyquist couldn't get the puck. Kadri at center. Lupul and over the boards and out. In the second intermission, they announced the women's U.S. Olympic hockey team, and right after the game, they'll be announcing the men's team. Phil Kessel and James Van Riemsdyk love to be a part of that, and probably will be, and that announcement is upcoming after the game, and you can see that on Hockey Night in Canada before we finish at the Big House.
And Phil's sister got a little bit of a reaction from the crowd, even the Maple Leaf fans.
Add Jimmy Howard to that list as well, potentially.
Potentially.
It's been a difficult year.
He looks more like an Olympian today than he has in some of the games this season. But he's still got some work to do from behind the net. Nikolai Kulemin couldn't get out front. Thomas Tatar cut him off. Then Kulemin came back with a hit.
I mentioned it at the start of the show. When you have your top 3 defensemen, DeKeyser, you got Eriksson, out for probably 12 games they played together, their top 3. So for 30 games, they've been minus one of the 3 best defensemen on the team. Makes it more difficult for the goaltender.
True enough, but I'm sure even an old goaltender would have to admit that Jimmy Howard hasn't quite been the goaltender that he was last season. So before you get an opinion on that, here's Scott.
Okay, Jim, we are 53 days exactly out from the men's Olympic hockey gold medal final at the Bolshoi Ice Dome in Sochi. 12,000 fans will be on site to watch it, and of course millions more will watch on CBC TV, and we await the unveiling of the American team at the end of this Winter Classic. As you mentioned, we'll stay on the air to bring it to you, but the real second guessing for Canada begins in 6 days when the Canadian team is announced. Jim.
Red Wings trying to break out of their own zone. Dion Phaneuf ran into Alfredsson and knocked him down. And a good pinch, Carl Gunnarsson. And Alfredsson's trying to come back at Phaneuf. They have something going. Here's Van Riemsdyk, who's been the best Leaf since the start of the second. And his backhander was stopped by Jimmy Howard. Quickly back the other way. Gus Nyquist with a great pace to the game. Got over the blue line and turned back. Phil Kessel has Bozak with him, and he gives him the puck. The return pass came off his stick, and Zetterberg was right there in Kessel's face to get the puck. Phaneuf pinches again and gets Alfie again, and the Leaf fans love that. On the other side, Gunnarsson to the puck, shot it wide of the net. Kyle Quincy has Bozak right on him, up the boards. Phaneuf holds the puck in. Alfredsson got it. Nyquist. Alfredsson driving the net as Nyquist holds up, feeds the trailer. DeKeyser shoots, and a nice save by Jonathan Bernier, and he made it look easy.
Well, as a coach, you always say if you're going to pinch and go down the boards, you either get the puck or you get the body. Well, you judge what Phaneuf does here.
Is there a puck there?
Body and puck all at the same time. Not bad. And it's been a real challenge for the Leafs. They've really tried to match Phaneuf up against the best players for Detroit. And so it's mix and match. Gunnarsson at times plays with Gardner, and then Ranger makes a quick change. So there's been some shuffling from the bench here to get the right matchups.
Morgan Riley and Paul Ranger out on the ice right now.
A lot easier to play a defensive role in conditions like this, though, when you're not worried about making plays. Easier to defend than create offense.
Remember, it's a period and a half of a second period long change here as the Leafs continue to have their second period position until the middle of this frame, which is about 6 minutes away. Morgan Riley off the boards, out of the reach of Mason Raymond. Luke Glendening met Raymond to dump the puck back in. It's an offside call as the breeze picks up at the big house again.
Well, you look at where we are here with 16:04 left. It's been a good pushback. Here's the game's first goal. Alfredsson on the doorstep. What a play by Zetterberg as he looked off any kind of a pass, and then hand-eye coordination. Shot by Kessel, rebound by Van Riemsdyk, and then out of midair ties the game late in the second period.
Public enemy number one for the Maple Leafs, Daniel Alfredsson, beat them in a shootout just before Christmas. It has the only goal of this game for Detroit in a 1-1 tie. David Clarkson after the puck, trying to drive wide on Brian Lashoff, trying to stay with him, but Clement went for the front of the net. Now in behind it after the puck. He's got Kuhlman out front as he turns back and ran into Joachim Andersen. Cycle back for Clarkson, puck got away from him. He hooked at Kindle. Go win this scrum, the Leafs do. Jake Gardner takes the shot, and it's gloved by Jimmy Howard. And he hangs on as all the traffic was headed for the net again.
Well, Glenn, common theme here. The goaltenders are having a better job of picking up the pucks, aren't they? Lots of shots from the points, lots of traffic in front, but once again, Howard does a nice job of holding on.
Well, what probably would have been just shock and awe at the start when you step out, now they've settled right in. And the one thing I'll say for Detroit's standpoint, 5:24 left to go. Well, they better get a goal here because in 5:24, the Leafs are going to have a new member of their team. It's called the Wind. The Wind will be at their back.
Dion Phaneuf for the high shot. He scores! Phaneuf with the shot. The referees will converge. Tyler Bozak looked like he tipped it on a high shot by Dion Phaneuf, but how high was it?
Well, we've talked all afternoon long about the face-off battles. It was won in the first two periods by the Red Wings, 56-44. There's Chris King as he looks on.
The decision will be made for the most part here because the camera angles are better in the stadium than they are at hockey operations. But a look after the face-off win.
A little crisscross by Gunnarsson and Phaneuf. And there's the deflection, hard to see from that. You can see the reaction of Bozak immediately, and the reaction, Glenn, as the goaltender, as always, immediately pointing as well, right underneath the arm of Jimmy Howard.
I'd say this is goal all the way, and part of it is the reaction of the other players on the ice. Yeah, there's a little bit of a complaint for the goaltender, a little bit of complaint for Datsyuk, but the rest, it's almost like they're resigned to the fact that it's a good goal.
Boy, not much of a deflection there, was it? I mean, it barely changed the direction, but just enough to slide by Jimmy Howard. A lot of negotiating going on by Dion Phaneuf there. Not sure he's going to need it.
You have to look really closely to make sure that was Bozak and not Quincy that tipped it too.
Call on the ice stands. We have a goal.
It is a goal. 2-1 Toronto.
And here's where you get a great example of the divided crowd. The red sweaters on the red side, not cheering the blue, getting their arms up. Watch the reaction of Bozak, though. Just enough of a change on it, and he knew he got it. Van Riemsdyk pointed to him as well. And look at that face. Never in doubt, huh, Coach?
Never any doubt at all. 2-1 Toronto then. The Bozak, Van Riemsdyk, Kessel combination strikes again. Here's Gus Nyquist for Detroit with a shot. And that one is out of the park with 5 minutes to go before these teams will change ends. Tyler Bozak's been pretty good on the faceoff. Before Van Riemsdyk's goal, he won a couple of key faceoffs off the draw on the power play. And in his second game back after missing a dozen, despite the fact that so many people don't feel he's the #1 center, he has a huge impact, especially on his line.
They announced Dion Phaneuf, and the captain is standing in the bench and looking down at Bozak and said, "You touched it, right?"
It might have gone off Kyle Quincy.
Van Riemsdyk is pointing to him. That's a great discussion. You know, Dion Phaneuf doesn't want to take a goal that's not his, and he's happy to see his team with a lead.
Here you talked about the power of face-offs, and McClement doesn't win that last draw. You force your goaltender to make a save, and the immediate response by the coach is time for change. We're going to put 42 back out. He's been good on the draws, as you mentioned. But it's just that impact of starting with the puck 60% of the time versus chasing the game because you don't have a center iceman who can win a draw. And, I mean, that's one of Kadri's big faults. You put him in offensive situations in the circles to the left or right of the other team's goaltender, and you chase the game. You don't win the draw.
They've announced Phaneuf as the goal scorer in the building, as you saw. And Dion doesn't really care. It's 2-1.
It was great interaction on the bench, though. Van Riemsdyk was pointing to Bozak as Dion was asking at the other end. So I think the players themselves will change it.
As of yesterday, when he got 7 at 7 for 49, I don't think he cares if he gets another goal. Maybe not true. It's not a bad contract.
The Red Wings that need another goal here right now. And they've got their top line on the ice. Datsuk, Abdelkader, and Todd Bertuzzi. Kyle Quincy chases the puck back. Danny DeKeyser with him on the forecheck. Phil Kessel, and he'll have to chase Quincy. In come the Red Wings, and they've changed on the fly. Alfredsson's back on. Puck's out of play.
There's been lots of traffic with Bernier. I think the Red Wings are starting to get, you understand that if you're going to get to Bernier, you're going to have to get traffic in front of that. And that was kind of a weird reaction that he had after the save.
There's a little conversation between Kessel. You can see Van Riemsdyk there was pointing to him, saying that's the guy, he got it.
Joffrey Lupul. His shot ends up in the corner, and then he runs into Brendan Smith. They had quite a physical exchange. Lupul and Smith go at each other again. Up the boards, a bouncing puck for Nyquist. Gets it into the middle. Alfredsson's on the right side, takes the pass from Zetterberg and fires a shot that was blocked by Carl Gunnarsson. Zetterberg takes over again, turns and fires off the side of the post. Alfredsson trying to find Zetterberg, can't do it. He's checked by Dion Phaneuf again. Joffrey Lupul to Mason Raymond, and Kronwall turned them back. Now straight up the middle, Brendan Smith. Zetterberg off the right side, into the middle, backhand pass to the front of the net. Alfredsson couldn't get it, he was tied up there again. Kyle Quincy back for the puck, a real sense of urgency in the game now. Little ways to go though before they change ends. And quite a ways to go in the game as the puck comes off of Bernier at the side of the goal. Quincy's in deep for Drew Miller. He's got Glendening in front of the net. He has to go behind and help. Cleary's in front, but the Leafs win the battle on the boards and get the puck to center. Leafs starting a change to get the Bozak line on the ice. Glendening, Miller. Bernier steers the puck into the corner. Coming right back to him, DeKeyser with a shot through traffic, deflected wide. Glendening's backhand shot, and Bernier stopped that. And he stops play. Danny DeKeyser from the blue line. A rebound to the side of the net, and Glendening denied, as most of the Red Wings have been, by Jonathan Bernier on Hockey Night in Canada. Michigan Stadium, home of the Wolverines, today home to the Bridgestone Winter Classic, and Jonathan Bernier and Jimmy Howard, the subject of our close-up, brought to you by Subway Restaurants. to the tune of Hail to the Victor.
I never liked this song much as a Western Michigan Bronco, but hey, the quarterbacks lead the football team out. Seen this many a time. Here's our version of the quarterbacks. It's the goaltenders. Talk about hail to the victors. It's the fans that have been the victors tonight, watching this display of goaltending. Tough elements, but both goaltenders have been great. And if you break it down, the 33 saves for Bernier have probably been the better, but both goaltenders, excellent. Hands are getting into it, aren't they? They're not cold.
Got to get into it to keep warm. Well, they're getting into it to keep warm, if you know what I mean.
They're doing some liquid lubrication. That's why they're not cold.
It's been a mostly standing room day and a fabulous event to be at. And it hasn't let up at all. The snow has fallen since early this morning. Still falling now, although not as heavy as it has been at times.
There's an entire section dancing to this song up to the left of the day. It's like 10 people got up and the Harlem Shuffle took over. There they go. Oh, it's electric.
So is the game now. Toronto's up 2-1, third period. Tyler Bozak's been excellent on the faceoffs, up against Datsuk, who got the draw to the front of the net. And a deflection again out of play with Datsuk just getting the draw back, and Abdelkader headed for the net.
Yeah, you just see the urgency off of every faceoff. We've seen great chances born out of winning a draw. Datsuk and Abdelkader almost made it happen there. There's changed the goal to Bozak from Phaneuf.
Pavel Datsuk, Kindle with a shot, missed on the short side. Jay McClement got the puck to center. Pavel Datsuk. Thomas Tatar out here with Abdelkader. And Datsuk now gives that line a little more speed. Bertuzzi off it, but Clement got dumped and knocked down hard by Lashoff. And Pavel Datsuk lifts the puck out through center. Raised for it, here comes Bernier, and he beat Tatar to the puck. Jonathan Bernier's been making a habit of that this season. Here's Kindle from center on a line change, dumps the puck in deep.
That was hard not to shoot it out of the zone, though. I mean, you might get a bouncing puck there if you're Bernier and shoot it over the glass and be killing a penalty. Good job keeping it down.
Leafs are changing on the fly. De Keyser starts out. Zetterberg protects the puck around the defense. He's got Nyquist in front, and the puck squirts out front. The Leafs have done a pretty tidy job all day of getting back in front of the net and having support right around Bernier, and Kessel was back that time to get the puck. Now he's got to chase it. Turns the defenseman, Van Riemsdyk, hustles in, throws the puck to the front of the net. Howard had to make sure he was sharp. The puck then deflected off a body and stays in for Toronto. Here's Van Riemsdyk at his pocket pick. Alfredson takes the puck away with Gus Nyquist to center at the end of his shift. He dumps the puck in and changes. Ball Ranger is back. Leaves Van Riemsdyk with a chance to get the puck out to a racing Morgan Riley. Stops and shoots, and the puck ends up in the corner. Bozak is there. Up the boards, Riley trying to hold the puck in. Here come the Red Wings. Better be quick. Half a period's almost over. There's going to be a whistle at the 10-minute mark. And they get to the attack here. It'd be like the end of a game if you watch the clock now to get a shot, but the players would be so unaccustomed to that they might forget. A tip in by Brendan Smith. Riley back for the puck. And the horn sounds so the teams can change ends. And the Leafs will go downwind. It'll be like the normal third period, close to the benches with the Leafs ahead. 2-1 on a goal by Tyler Bozak on a Hockey Night in Canada. A Hockey Town tradition that if you made the journey to Michigan Stadium, it may not seem it while you're freezing cold, but eventually you'd be very happy for having made the trip.
So many people from Southern Ontario made the trek across.
Wasn't easy getting
Couldn't
there
even
either.
get out of the hotel. the elevators were jam-packed and stopping at every floor. A throng of fans all coming here.
And the Highway 94 coming out here was bumper to bumper, probably just as well. It slowed everybody down on a very snowy and icy day.
Jim, you wonder at one point, will Datsyuk and Zetterberg trying to come back be on the same line? Mike Babcock does that a lot when he needs a big goal.
And he might be ready to do it at any time. That's why he sent Thomas Yurko down so he could have an extra center so he can do that. It hasn't happened yet except on the power play. Zetterberg with Alfredsson and Nyquist. Turned back the other way. Nazem Kadri dumped along the boards by Brendan Smith. Nick Kronwall, rink wide. Intercepted by Mason Raymond, who shot the puck in for Toronto. Gus Nyquist. Mates are on a change. He's got Drew Miller coming with him to the net, fresh off the bench. He goes in deep after the puck. DeKaiser pinches on the right side and holds the puck in. That's Gunnarsson pinning Miller. Here comes Datsyuk and Abdelkader. Mason Raymond turns up the boards. Tyler Bozak flipped the puck through center. Kyle Quincy is back. Quick D-to-D, and the Red Wings are out in a hurry. Still Thomas Tatar and no Bertuzzi on this line with Pavel Datsyuk and Justin Abdelkader. They want a little more speed. Here's Bozak. His pass gets by Van Riemsdyk. De Kaiser's back. There's going to be a penalty here. And it'll be against James Van Riemsdyk on Danny De Kaiser.
They gave him a shot on the way back. He didn't like the fact that De Kaiser maybe sold it, but can't get the stick in there in the hands.
Extra attackers on here in the delayed penalty call. Leafs can't get the puck. Thomas Tatar throws it back, and it's touched by Nikolai Kuhlman, and the penalty being called to James Van Riemsdyk. This is a huge Detroit power play and Leaf penalty kill.
Yeah, and 185 feet from your own net, and just the hands get stuck in there. Van Riemsdyk notices it, tries to drop the stick quickly, but the call had already been made.
Fat contract yesterday for Phaneuf, a fat lip tonight, and a big hit by Datsyuk. And here's another big physical hit. Lashoff knocks down McClement. Let's get a real close-up look at the battle for a puck. These are just gorgeous shots from our ankle cam. The battle to fight for something that small, because if you put it in the net, it's that big.
Big face-off win there, but the puck doesn't come out. Bozak has to work for it to the blue line, and he does a nice job. He and McClement, as usual, start the penalty kill. The second power play unit starts for Detroit.
But a good change by Randy Carlyle. He takes his first power play or penalty killing defensive pairing off because of that, so that they can get the next group.
There's a big interception. Bozak shorthanded. Jerry D'Amigo lost control to the front of the net, just out of the reach of Bozak with Cleary back. Cleary, Nyquist, Thomas Tatar, De Kaiser, and Kindle start the power play and can't get in to get set up. Nyquist to Cleary and back. There's Paul Ranger to break up that play, and a nice defensive play by Jay McClement. A top penalty killer gets the puck down the ice, and he got a tap of the boards from James Van Riemsdyk in the penalty box.
And here's where Bertuzzi does come out, Jim. They're not worried about speed here. They want the big body in front of the net on Bernier.
Pavel Datsyuk. Henrik Zetterberg's with him. Todd Bertuzzi headed for the front of the net to the end boards now after the puck. Back at the blue line, he's got Kronwall. Passes the puck back. Zetterberg. Daniel Alfredsson at the right point. Here's Kronwall. He fires up high. He hit his own man. Yeah, he got Todd Bertuzzi. That was neck high. And the puck is cleared to center.
Well, I guess if you're standing in front of the net, you got to pay the price. But Kronwall, that one must have just flipped on him a little bit.
Well, that was not going to be anywhere near low enough to get into the net. Here's Datsyuk. Alfredsson. Kronwall. Lower shot. Stopped by Bernier, and he's got it.
You can see Kronwall's going to go to his teammate and make sure he's okay. Bertuzzi, two good chances with a position. Did it hit the stick? I'm not sure. It was a high riser, though, that Bertuzzi couldn't get out of the way of. And fortunate that that didn't hit him up higher. Yeah, right underneath, almost in the neck area. And then a nice job by Bernier again, finding that puck through traffic.
Watch Datsyuk on this play. He knows the puck is there. It's just that compete level in front of the net to try to poke something loose on Bernier.
Red Wings get the draw. Tatar, DeKeyser, Kronwall, Nyquist. Kronwall shoots. That's deflected wide of the net. Nyquist back to the front of the goal. Bernier knocked that aside. Joachim Andersen. Kronwall from the blue line. Nyquist turns to the net. Little back pass. Kronwall, one-timer by Tatar. Bernier's got it again. He's been outstanding and so calm with traffic and pressure.
Well, there's a great battle going on in front, Gunnarsson and Anderson. And Anderson had great position across, and Glenn, you had a good advantage point of it here. This is a good positional save, isn't it?
Good positional save and no rebound. He knows he's got the puck between his legs. He just closes the wickets. Let's take a look at the reaction from the penalty box. D'Amico gets a chance down the ice. And as if to say, oh, boy, that would be really nice, a shorty.
That was a big penalty kill for Toronto, and now 5-on-5 with 6:14 to go. Here's Todd Bertuzzi with Abdelkader and Datsuk again. And the puck is iced by the Maple Leafs, so they just back off and make sure they don't waste any energy knowing they have to stay on for the faceoff. Follow the stars of Team Canada as they prepare for Sochi 2014 in Road to the Olympics, hosted by Scott Russell. That's coming up next, following hockey on CBC TV. And quite a bit of hockey perhaps to go with 6 minutes left in the third period of the Bridgestone Winter Classic in Ann Arbor at Michigan Stadium. Bozak and Datsuk again in the faceoff. Bozak got this one to Bertuzzi. Quincy had a rolling puck. All he can do is keep it in. Abdelkader against Ranger. Kessel came back to help, and he'll chip the puck off the shoulder of Bozak to center ice. Bertuzzi's there, knocked out of the air by Pavel Datsuk. Back in for Abdelkader to go after Cody Franson. Abdelkader got there first. Paul Ranger up the boards. Brendan Smith gambles and pinches to the front of the net. Score! Justin Abdelkader, 2-2. What a pinch by Brendan Smith to set up Justin Abdelkader and tie the game.
Well, so hard to make plays under pressure, and you could get a sense of it here. The Red Wings coming on. They didn't score on the power play, but they kept the puck alive. You could see Abdelkader started it at one side, the pinch at the other side, and then just inside position, and this is a tough play to defend against. Franson needs to get his stick in there quicker. Abdelkader with the backhand to fool Bernier.
And there's the mismatch. Franson and Ranger out against the Datsuk line with Phaneuf on the bench.
Because of an icing call. Here they come again with some energy now. It's Danny Cleary with Drew Miller. Miller stopped by Bernier. What a pace to the game now. Element's not a factor. A shot from a sharp angle, and Bernier's got that as the Red Wings come looking for more. Justin Abdelkader recently back off an injury with a big backhand tip on a setup by Brendan Smith. And then Bernier with another save off Drew Miller. Great action at the Winter Classic on Hockey Night in Canada. Well, the weather is exactly the same at the start. Maybe it's as heavy as it snowed all day, but that's not going to make any difference now. 5:09 left in the third period. Here's the icing call that set up the goal.
And this is preventable. I mean, it's under pressure. You understand you got some bad elements here, but this is a mistake that ends up in the back of your net. And Ranger had some pressure, can't make a play, and then a great pinch by Smith and an excellent play at the net by Abdelkader. And guys, we got ourselves a tight game again.
Well, as soon as that puck left the stick, Datsuk left the bench.
Yeah, they were coming on, weren't they?
Without even being told they're coming on, we're coming on.
And how about Toronto again, Jim? 40 shots again for the umpteenth time this year.
40-23. Shots in the Red Wings' favor. Glendening to face off against Tyler Bozak. Bozak won it cleanly. And Phaneuf held up a little. Puck gets to the blue line, not out. Jacob Kindle with a shot. Too many bodies between him and the net. Nikolai Kuhlman dumps the puck in. Leafs want to change here on the fly. Kindle to Zetterberg, and the Red Wings are out to center. Alfredsson is with Zetterberg. So is Dan Cleary. Zetterberg hangs on and fights off Paul Ranger. And Ranger finally got the upper hand. Lupul couldn't get the puck out along the boards. Riley's chasing it against Alfredsson. Finally, Kadri got the puck out over the line, and it's shot right back in. Morgan Riley under pressure, turned and went up the boards. Mason Raymond for Kadri, intercepted by Smith. And another neutral zone battle. Zetterberg gets a hold of the puck. Controls it, protects it, puts it to the side of the net. Fired wide by Nyquist. Guess who's back on? Right away, quick rest. Datsuk back into action. The Red Wings think they might have the momentum here and can get the win before regulation time is up. Joffrey Lupul deep in his own zone, under pressure from Abdelkader. Puck cleared to center, Brendan Smith. Dumps it right back in for Detroit. Morgan Riley flips the puck all the way down the ice, and this will be another icing call with Morgan Riley and Cody Franson, the defensive pair on the ice.
This will be interesting for Randy Carlyle. And Glenn, it's not so much even tiredness now, it's just matchup again, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you've got a rookie defenseman on. You got another guy from Franson who's -2. You've got Lupul who's overstayed his shift and didn't get a change. And you got Carlyle who's really happy with Nazem Kadri.
Glendening comes on with Miller and Cleary.
It had been a steady stream of Zetterberg and Datsuk, though, and I'm sure Mike Babcock needs his entire bench into this last three.
Jay McClement to try and win the draw, but the Red Wings get it. Danny DeKeyser, screen shot, side of the net. Bernier trying to get a hold of the puck, and he does, and stops the play. 3:24 left in the third period, and now the Leafs can change.
What a good heads-up play by Bernier here. He just understands the matchup game, understands that the timing is important, and he follows this one perfectly, and Miller gets boxed out, and Bernier grabs the puck.
Phaneuf and Gunnarsson came on in the stoppage of play. Kindle has to chase the puck to center, gets a return pass from Lashoff.
See how hard it was for Kindle to keep that puck in the zone? Again, left shot, playing the right side.
Jim, this one skipped up again because of the ice, and that gives Toronto an opportunity now as an icing call that probably would have been touched had the ice not been like this, but the puck just took a wild bounce.
So they waste no time in changing and getting Bozak, Kessel, and Van Riemsdyk on the ice. And there's the skipper for an icing call. And Glendening had to stay on, but he won a draw in his own zone. Cleary at center with Miller right beside him. Bozak steps in. Two sliding players came right by him as the Leafs move in, cut in. And the Red Wings come right back. Pavel Datsuk throws the puck towards the net. It's wide. Thomas Tatar back with Datsuk and Abdelkader. Given a rough ride by Tyler Bozak. Ranger gets out to center, dumps the puck in because the Leafs want to change right away to get Phaneuf and Gunnarsson back on with Datsuk having come onto the ice and a change on the fly. Here's Lupul to Mason Raymond, knocked away. Abdelkader to Datsuk, who dumps the puck in. Tatar darts in after it, but Bernier cleared the puck. Carl Gunnarsson ahead to Nazem Kadri's got Joffrey Lupul with him, but he left the puck behind at center. Gunnarsson has to turn. Abdelkader trying to get to him, and Dion Phaneuf trying to help his partner by holding Abdelkader up, or at least making his route a little different. And the puck is over the glass, and the Red Wings are suggesting this should be a penalty.
That's a tight call to make, and it looks like it did hit off Abdelkader. But earlier on, Nazem Kadri had a chance in the neutral zone. Glenn talked about Randy Carlyle not being happy, didn't get the puck deep, got knocked down the other way, and then almost put the puck out.
Well, he just hasn't been good enough. He has not competed hard enough, and that line has been a non-factor. You got to rely on Phil Kessel and James Van Riemsdyk and Bozak night in, night out to provide your offense. It's just not good enough.
Every face-off critical now, and McClement won it cleanly. Cody Franson, the battle on the boards, and Clarkson got the puck by Kronwall. Brendan Smith chased by McClement. And a rolling puck. Bernier sets that up for Jake Gardner. To Franson. Did Clarkson touch that? No.
Well, even if
Wouldn't
he
have mattered.
did,
It was still on his own side of center.
This is a tough call, though, Glenn. I don't know how you feel, but Clarkson's arguing he's got the defenseman pinching in on him. So the defenseman, if he stays back, can make that play. I think he's got a bit of a case.
It's almost like interference in a sense, where you're picked. You're taken right out of the play. Good luck fielding that pass. The 230-pound guy in the back.
Datsuk and McClement, and even on his forehand, McClement won that cleanly on Pavel Datsuk, but Tatar got the puck and his wraparound was stopped by Bernier. Back to the blue line, a shot wide of the net. Abdelkader gets to the puck and just threw it at the net, and look how calmly Bernier freezes that between his skate and the post.
There's 18 inches of snow there, so it wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Good point.
Old-time hockey.
You get a real sense, though, Glenn, they're throwing everything to the net, though. And at this point, that's been the Detroit Red Wings' MO for many years. They love throwing from bad angles. They'll put everything to the net, but as you mentioned, calm Bernier, skate against post.
Everything Detroit has done since they scored their second goal has been with a purpose. The way they changed from the bench, their aggressiveness on their forecheck, they have momentum in their favor.
Glendening's kicked out, Cleary comes in.
He's played a big role, hasn't he?
Really
Getting called up, he's played a lot for Mike Babcock.
Line mate Cleary's had a good day.
Now he's getting after it with Dion Phaneuf.
Glendening a rookie, but he's out of college, so he's a little older than most rookies. Off the draw, up the boards, Kuhlman's got to get to DeKeyser and get the puck out. Second chance, can't quite do it. He was unlucky there because the puck just hit DeKeyser, but still the puck is cleared. Leafs are really hanging on in a 2-2 game. It's been all Detroit since they scored to tie it. Phaneuf is back. Under pressure. Quincy, the defenseman, sneaking in here as well. Kessel couldn't get the puck out along the boards. Bozak was there helping. Both defensemen in the corner battling for the puck. Kessel gets it. Up the boards. Bozak in the neutral zone against Kyle Quincy. Here comes Phil Kessel after the loose puck. Knocks it loose. Can't get the shot away after he jarred it loose from the defenseman DeKeyser. Glendening is back under pressure. Kessel pushed down by DeKeyser, and he stays down. Puck stays in. Quincy got it out to center, and Kessel just now getting to the ice. Here comes Henrik Zetterberg, rink wide. He's with Datsuk now. The two big guys for Detroit are together on a line.
And boy, Kessel's really hurt and going to the bench.
Might say the three big guys. Alfredsson is out with Datsuk and Zetterberg trying to finish this off and running out of time. But here comes James Van Riemsdyk to Clarkson, and he's dumped and couldn't tip the puck into the net behind Jimmy Howard. Tremendous action as the Red Wings come back. Alfredsson dumps the puck in. And the third period comes to an end. Shake the snow globe. There's going to be more action, and it'll from Michigan Stadium between Detroit and Toronto.
Quite a sequence of action after Kessel went down, and the Van Riemsdyk did a nice job of keeping hold of that puck, trying to saucer it over to David Clarkson. He's got three Red Wings all over him, and Alfredsson knocks him in. Here's what happened to Kessel, reaching for this one, trying to make a play offensively. And at the very end of the play, he took a hard cross-check, I believe, by DeKeyser. We'll have a look. Yeah, right in the ribs there. Wow. And he reacted to that.
Not much padding there. Now that one's going to hurt. But it is amazing, though, for many stretches of the game, very little offense, and then in the last minute, both teams have a chance to win it.
We apologize for some technical difficulties and some transmission problems we had a little earlier. Seems to be straightened out now. Detroit and Toronto in a 2-2 tie, heading for sudden death overtime. The pictures today have been spectacular, and let's look back on some of them from this game.
A little bit of snow today, would you say? It has been a physical game. Both goaltenders have been the stars. That's why we're going to overtime. We got 105,000 of our best friends dressed up. So why not play more?
Why not play a little Neil Diamond?
Good time never seems so good for Justin Abdelkader, who got a big goal to tie this one up 2-2 and send it to overtime, and nobody's complaining about staying a little longer tonight.
No, I think everybody in this building's pretty happy to do it.
Well, my memories of the very first game, Craig, and you were part of it, and it was a cold day, minus 25. The Oilers put on the game, and you had to force people to leave the building. They want to leave. They want to stay. Minus 25, I was running to the truck.
Doesn't this conjure up some images of that first Winter Classic game in Buffalo where Sidney Crosby
pushing through the snow?
Yeah, pushing through the snow to score in a shootout.
Isn't it amazing, guys, though? All but 2 of the games have been 1-goal games in the outdoors. And those 2 are only 2-goal games. Detroit winning one of them 6-4 against Chicago.
So we need a hero here tonight. One guy who hasn't had a great night has 5 minutes now to make amends for it and maybe be a difference maker after one of the shifts that Carlisle didn't feel that Kadri had competed on. He got an earful.
And those ears look cold, don't they? On the bench.
4-on-4, sudden death overtime.
This is where Datsyuk and Zetterberg become so much more dangerous. Their ability with a little extra open ice. And because Carlisle has Kuhlman and McClement out, Mike Babcock doesn't have anything with a 13 or 40 there. They'll be coming out later.
Phaneuf and Gunnarsson are out there.
And they'll probably change, won't they?
I'm thinking so. McClement and Kuhlman certainly are. Gunnarsson out of his own zone. Now Kessel's come on, and so is Bozak. So it's Mike Babcock who starts scrambling to change. Kessel, I guess he's okay. He attacked the blue line and was poke checked, and that caused an offside. So a real cat and mouse game from the 2 coaches scrambling to change and get their matchup even 4-on-4.
I don't care where you are or what elements you're playing in. These 2 coaches especially, they are married to their game. I mean, they literally play the matchup game. Randy's making sure defensively doesn't want to get caught, and Mike Babcock trying to create it.
Well, no margin for error now. Mistake. If it goes in the net, costs you 2 points.
Glendening and Tatar, the forwards for Detroit. Kyle Quincy and Danny DeKeyser, the defenseman. Here's Thomas Tatar with great speed, fires a shot. Bernier made the save. Harder to see now. It's dark and it's snowing. The bouncing puck to center. Franson moves up on it. He's poke checked at the line by Luke Glendening, and here come the Red Wings. Glendening couldn't get a shot away. Gardner got to him in time. Tatar run over by Nikolai Kuhlman. And Jake Gardner starts out to center. In the midst of a change, Kessel's coming on. Puck goes in deep. Nick Kronwall is back under pressure from Tyler Bozak. Datsyuk is on the ice. So Phaneuf and Gunnarsson are there. A lot of players who could end the game on there right now. Datsyuk is out with Abdelkader. Here comes Phil Kessel down the wing. Snaps a shot. Big rebound. Backhander. And a loose puck in front, and Phaneuf comes after it. Phil Kessel and Nazem Kadri with a great attack, and it's Kessel's speed that created that. Phaneuf stays in deep, trying to hold the puck in. Kronwall to Brendan Smith and back. And the Red Wings with Datsyuk and Abdelkader were forced to play in their own zone. And that ends the shift for Pavel Datsyuk. Here comes Zetterberg, though. He's 1-on-2 up against Gunnarsson. Spins, throws the puck towards the net. It deflected, and it's out of play over the glass.
Well, you mentioned speed, and the one thing Kessel has is that ability in the neutral zone to create a little separation from himself and the defense. A little quick pass to a streaking Phil Kessel like you see so often. That shot, dangerous to score, but even more so dangerous for a rebound in front.
Zetterberg and Alfredsson. On for Detroit. Lupul and Bozak, the forwards for Toronto. And a bouncing puck got away from DeKeyser. Here comes Bozak to take it, try to pass. Didn't work, and now he'll try and make another one to Joffrey Lupul, and that was destined for failure because the puck bounced so many times it's offside.
Yeah, let's get you a little bit closer to the game, man. You're not going to get much closer than this. Other than feeling the hit, it's like the hit is coming in to your living room. Cool him in on Tatar.
You can see some of the players starting to feel the effects of a long afternoon outdoors in cold weather. Especially those who've been sitting for a while. Henrik Zetterberg hasn't, and he carries the puck in up against Jake Gardner. Spins, tried to play the puck back, and it's taken away by Kadri to Joffrey Lupul. Joining the rush is Jake Gardner. Stops up, leaves the puck to Lupul, to the net, kicked aside by Jimmy Howard. Here comes Gardner, pinching on Alfredsson. Veteran Alfredsson won that little battle. Kadri was the defenseman. Zetterberg against Franson.
Half the overtime,
Half the overtime, and the horn
Listen to the
sounded.
crowd.
Whoa, just when you thought the Red Wings were going to break to the net, and another change of ends halfway through OT.
The crowd obviously not knowing what was happening. Much like the third period, they decided, wow, what a chance. Zetterberg in all alone, he looks up. Clearly the horn goes, and Zetterberg didn't seem all that surprised. So the players knew, but the crowd did not.
Good thing it was loud enough for him to hear.
Yeah.
Well, you can hear the yells from the bench, letting the team know that they had 10 seconds left to create a chance. That's the bad news, because the puck was 150 feet from Toronto Maple Leafs net when the 10-second mark hit.
So now it's a long change for both teams in overtime. Still trying to get that matchup. Beyond Phaneuf. Paul Ranger. Jay McClement with a shoot in, and as soon as the puck is dumped in, the scramble at the bench is on. Brendan Smith. Stretch pass to Abdelkader. He just tips the puck in. Glendening changes, and on comes Datsuk to join Justin Abdelkader. Van Riemsdyk rink wide off a stick out of play. 2 minutes to go in overtime.
Well, most of the play in this overtime has been strategic in the neutral zone, trying to sift their way through both sides, making the changes when they need to. And another communication now, looking to the bench. Should I change? Should I stay? With Datsuk out there, I think you'll see both sides stay the same.
Phaneuf and Gunnarsson are there, and Phaneuf has the puck. Carl Gunnarsson. Back to the captain, who's got some speed. Wide on Abdelkader, stops up and shoots the puck in. McClement first on it, up against Kyle Quincy. Get Gunnarsson back here at the blue line. But DeKeyser got a hold of the puck. He'll reverse for Quincy. Danny DeKeyser. Alfredsson's come on. The Red Wings have made a change. DeKeyser goes wide. Side of the net. There's a loose puck. Backhander. Steered into the corner as Datsuk had stayed. Didn't get much of a shot on that. Off the wing. Shot by Brendan Smith was blocked, and he got it back. Kronwall, a one-timer on a pass by to Smith, and that went wide of the net. And now the Leafs get a chance to get out of their own zone. Carl Gunnarsson carries the puck with a minute to go. And he dumps it in. The Maple Leafs make a change. Phil Kessel and Tyler Bozak come on again. Kronwall to Brendan Smith. Franson looks around as he gets back for the shoot-in. Uses the net as a pick and got the puck to Phil Kessel. Dashing down his off wing. Moving in on Smith. Got by him. Stops. Looking for someone in front. Finds the trailer. Franson shot. Didn't get by goaltender Jimmy Howard. Great setup by Phil Kessel. And with 30 seconds to go, that might have been the Leafs' best chance to end it before a shootout. Here comes Kessel again. Might be another chance in him. Tried to hit the trailer, instead gave it away. Now he's got to chase Gus Nyquist, and he's caught him with some help from Gardner. Nyquist continues on, he shoots. Puck is deflected into the corner by Bernier. Zetterberg centering pass. Zetterberg again bangs at the puck, and it goes in behind the net, and overtime solves nothing. and there'll be a shootout at Michigan Stadium.
Well, the happiest and maybe most frustrated all-in-one guy on the ice is Phil Kessel. As he made a great play offensively here once again with his speed, backing Smith off, and then does a nice job stopping up and finding his defenseman Franson coming in. A little bit of the post on that one, but Glenn a little bit guilty of trying too much at the end.
Well, the turnover and the timing is everything here, because Kessel's turnover is exactly when the Toronto Maple Leafs are changing their defense. They're making their way to the bench. Kessel doesn't recognize it, changes on, but he's the fastest guy on the team right now. And typically you are the fastest guy on the team when you give the puck away.
Well, the last time these teams had a shootout, it was Daniel Alfredsson that got the big goal for the Red Wings, and they hadn't won a shootout yet. And a shootout you would think would favor Toronto at 6-4 in shootouts. Detroit 1-6 this season. They'd lost 11 straight shootouts till they beat Toronto just before Christmas.
What's interesting here too, guys, is both teams get an opportunity to choose which side they'd like to take the shoot-off in, so they could go to the same size. Here's why we got to this point. Game's first goal, Daniel Alfredsson missed one game but came back with a big one. James Van Riemsdyk with a knockout of midair. The Toronto Maple Leafs take the lead in front. Bozak with the deflection from the Phaneuf shot, but then Justin Abdelkader on the doorstep, backhand pass Bernier.
And we have seen this before, haven't we? The magical night where you've got snow, you've got a shootout, and it wasn't it in Buffalo with Sidney Crosby. I mean, what a great flashback. That's probably one of the best memories. Snow coming down, and the best player on the planet wins the game in the shootout. Storybook ending. Who's going to be the hero tonight and paint this script?
The biggest difference between this game and that is that the technology has improved so much in doing these outdoor games. The ice hasn't been a problem at all today other than the snow, and they have better snow moving capabilities now. So it's not likely to be quite as snowy as it was for Sid in Buffalo.
Well, the Maple Leafs have decided to keep their goaltender in the end where the wind is going to be directly in your face if you're Detroit.
And my guess is that the Red Wings will do the same, don't you think?
Howard standing about
Howard standing next to you, so my guess is yes.
It might be his call.
He's not going to take the shot, is he?
You would think that Daniel Alfredsson would lead things off again after being so successful the last time. He's 2 for 5 this season and got the big one against Toronto on the 21st of December. Datsyuk hasn't been very good. Bertuzzi, who's been dependable through his career, is 0 for 5.
One guy who's been around the net all night for Detroit has been Abdelkader. I mean, he tied the game, and he's had a heck of a game as well.
For Toronto, James Van Riemsdyk has been 4 for 7 this season, and Joffrey Lupul hasn't missed one, 4 for 4. It's Alfredsson who will lead things off for Detroit. Datsyuk will follow, and then Brendan Smith, the defenseman, will get a chance.
He's been up ice all night. So this is Babcock going on a hunch.
Well, Smith has scored in the big outdoor games. He did it at Wisconsin.
Snow is raining down, and so are the boos from half a stadium full of Toronto fans as Alfie gets set to shoot against Jonathan Bernier. Here we go. Maybe shot is the best idea in a shootout on a snowy day. Alfie tried to go to his backhand and the puck skipped away.
Yeah, he tried to quick move, forehand, backhand like so many players do, but you never know how quickly that puck is going to move. It was a little bit behind and he couldn't quite get his timing there.
James Van Riemsdyk.
Shoot the puck.
James Van Riemsdyk 4 for 7 this year up against Jimmy Howard. He wouldn't shoot the puck either as he tried the Forsberg and gets a little pat on the shin guards from Jimmy Howard as he switches places with Jonathan Bernier.
Look at how far out Jimmy Howard came on that, and like we've seen all night long, he's done really well with his legs, hasn't he?
Corey Hirsch is watching somewhere saying, why couldn't I have done that?
Pavel Datsyuk against Jonathan Bernier. He'd been 1 for 6. Wasn't doing too well in shootouts. Did pretty well in this one. Red Wings have the lead.
The one that he did get was very similar to this. Almost exactly the same. You know his backhand, and look at how quickly he gets that puck up. Glenn, no chance for the goaltender to stop that.
He almost makes it look too easy.
Yeah, does he ever?
And oddly enough, nobody has taken a shot on a day when you would think that that would be the obvious thing to do. 4 for 4 is Joffrey Lupul. Here he goes on Jimmy Howard. Tie shootout. 5 for 5 this season for Joffrey Lupul.
Well, nobody wants to go home, I guess. Keep it going, goes to his left, and just perfect timing. You could see the frustration of Howard. He got a little bit off balance, and the reaction from the Leaf men.
Number 21, Thomas Tatar.
It's Thomas Tatar that will be the third shooter for the Detroit Red Wings, and here he comes on Jonathan Bernier. Had to make the puck settle down. Still trying, and it refused to behave.
He was trying to bounce this in the net, I think. I mean, this thing right from the blue line in, you know, just because of the conditions, the snow, the ice. Here it is. I'm just going to dribble this into the back of the net. I think the KISS principle works here. Keep it simple.
Tyler Bozak with a chance to win it for Toronto. Leafs win the Winter Classic at the Big House. And above all of the things that have happened on a wonderful day for hockey, this was a huge game between teams tied in the standings. And the Toronto Maple Leafs have prevailed and won their 7th shootout of the season with a 3-2 win over the Detroit Red Wings.
And something you don't see during the regular season, but is a classic ending to a hard-fought playoff game, the handshake, and it's fitting with this kind of atmosphere. Good sportsmanship, great gamesmanship all afternoon long.
After Toronto shakes Detroit's hands, they should turn around and go to Bernier and shake his hand, because he was exceptional here this afternoon. 43 shots on goal. Great in the shootout, and great for the 65 minutes.
The last two shooters decided to fire the puck. Lupul, and welcome back Tyler Bozak. Missed 12, and he's got 5 points in 2 games since he came back, and wins his shootout for the Toronto Maple Leafs. On a big day for everyone in hockey. Here's Dion Phaneuf, the captain of the Leafs, with Scott.
Thanks, Jim. Dion, what a couple of days for you. The contract extension, a big goal in the Winter Classic. How tough was it to come from behind in conditions like these?
It was a great experience, something that I'll never forget. It's a big 2 points for our team, and it was kind of fitting. Goes down to a shootout in such a special game. The fans were unbelievable. The weather's obviously with the snow makes it difficult, but it was a lot of fun to be a part of it.
One memory of this Winter Classic for you will be that fat lip with stitches in it. How many?
I don't know how many, but it was a cold stick. Didn't feel too good hitting it there, I'll tell you that.
This win would not have been possible without the outstanding performance of your goaltender, Jonathan Bernier. A few words about him.
Bernie's been unbelievable all year for us, and both goalies have played extremely well, but they've given us a chance to win night in and night out, and Bernie did that again tonight. And it's tough standing there the whole night in this cold, so can't say enough good things about his game, and it was huge for our team.
We noticed in the warm-up you had a few words with Todd Bertuzzi. What were you talking about?
He just said congrats about my contract. I played with Bert in Calgary, and he's a great guy, so it was real nice of him.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dion. Appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot.
Jim.
Well, what a day. You know, it's one of the few events where we Canadians hope there's going to be some weather. We wanted some snow. We wanted some cold for a winter classic. And it was every bit of that. Still more to come from the Big House on Hockey Night in Canada.